We always start the program off with big sales. What a big week. The bye week will be a big week for a lot of teams, including the Philadelphia Eagles. First and foremost, want to thank our good friends at BetUS. We are powered for the next 4 hours by our friends there. Make sure you check out their website. Can't thank them enough for being part of this here. But before we get going on and before we move on here, I do want to do this. I want to recognize something here. You know, our program sometimes deviates off of football and goes into other areas of sports and entertainment. You know, you've seen Ice Cube on the program numerous times. We've had Herschel Walker on, who was running for the Senate. We've had all kinds of people on the program. And obviously, one of the most interesting people that we had on the program was Pete Rose. It was basically less than a year ago. We had Pete Rose on, maybe a little bit over. We had Rose on the program, and I've been friends with Pete for a long time. Signed a baseball, gave it to me, and when I started my broadcast career in Vegas, Pete was one of the very first guys to come on my program, and I got a chance to do a couple shows with him. When I was in Vegas, and I started at American Sports Radio Network. Pete would come by the Rio, the casino there, and we would do a show, and he'd sit out there. Sometimes he wasn't even scheduled to come on, but he'd sit there for an hour with me. And whatever you think of him, whatever your opinion is of him as a man, his faults, at the end of the day, okay? At the end of the day, I saw a lot of people revering Pete Rose on social media, from senators to congressmen to entertainers. He has to be one of the most polarizing people in my lifetime, or really any lifetime. I've never seen anything like it. You know, to put him in the Hall of Fame now doesn't really matter. I don't care. You know, I don't care anymore. I cared when he was alive. Now I don't. Do I really need voters to tell me that Pete Rose was not one of the top 5 players in the history of baseball? No. You don't have to validate Pete Rose's position in baseball. He did that himself. I think sometimes we get a little bit jaded with what a vote means or a Hall of Fame means. In everybody's minds, whoever saw him play, Philadelphia, Cincinnati, Montreal, wherever he played, I don't need a vote to tell me that Rose is not one of the best 5 players of all time. Those guys validate themselves, those voters, by doing that shit. They think they're more important than the game. I don't really care if they vote him in anymore. I don't care if you vote Bonds in. Can you always remember something? We'll move on. But always remember something when it comes to sports. Can you write the history of Major League Baseball without Pete Rose in it? The answer is no. That's when you know you're a legendary icon. You can't write the story of baseball without Barry Bonds. You can't write the story of baseball without Roger Clemens. I don't need a voter. I don't need a voter. By the way, I've said this before to people. Bring back the steroid era. Baseball was more interesting. I don't care. Ain't my body. He ain't my friend. I like to be entertained. Coliseums and lions and gladiators. That's why we sit in the stands. I'm not going to be a moralist on what you do with your body or not, or whatever it is you do. It has nothing to do with me. Are you not entertained? See, the people who try to be and try to have morals around athletes, you're dumb. They're like a cartoon character, like SpongeBob. These guys are like SpongeBob. I don't care. I loved watching Rose play. The Big Red Machine was arguably the greatest lineup in baseball history. I've never seen anything like it. Then and now. Can you imagine this? The Dodgers pay for that. The Reds developed that. Incredible. Incredible. One of the greatest teams of all time in my lifetime, the A's and the Reds. Incredible. What a career. All-time hits king, most games played. I don't need a Hall of Fame vote. I'll tell you what, though, watching people revere his career after he's gone, that's when you know you're somebody. That's when you know you're somebody. How they talk about you when you're not around. Pretty cool. So, here we go. I couldn't believe what I actually heard on WIP this morning. Somebody actually saying, "Are you concerned about your job, Nick?" No, I'm not concerned about my job. I'm concerned about getting the football team better. Funny, the football team hasn't gotten better in a year. It's the same 2023 Philadelphia Eagles, Nick. Jalen Hurts with the same problems. Same problems. Same problems, Enrias. At Greg75, thank you, my friend, for becoming a new member. We appreciate all of you. By the way, please hit the like button. You guys were insane great yesterday. Oh, yes, we are addressing a lot of things today. 14-3, baby. Hey, M. Reyes, why don't you fucking say Lombardi Trophy? 14-3 don't mean dick to me. Lombardis. 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 Not 14-3. You can win all your little games, M. Reyes. Okay? You can all your little 14-3s. How dumb is that? Stills, rewatch the Bucks game. Jalen did not have a great game, but multiple plays, the O-line got beat or was just standing around guarding grass. This loss is not just on the quarterback. No shit. That's not an epiphany. That's not an epiphany. Andreas, your football team wasn't good enough to be out there on the field with the Bucks. But let's not make the Bucks sound like they're the world beaters of the NFC. A very mediocre football team beat your doorknobs off for the second game in a row. Second game in a row. They knocked your doorknobs off. And by the way, right, like Slager said, they didn't show up because they didn't want to play. Xander, yeah, do me a favor, brother. Put up Kimberly's super chat here. Sills, Lions, Super Bowl, Teron Arnold, beast. My team to win the Super Bowl this year are the Detroit Lions. Thank you, Kimberly. Lions are a good football team. How can we get rid of Darius? He's so annoying. I don't care. A.J. Brown's annoying. I don't mind annoying. I don't mind annoying. I'm annoying. I don't mind annoying. If you're productive, again, this isn't a personality contest here. Okay? No, Jay. The Lions aren't trash. The Eagles are trash. Got the wrong team. The Eagles are trash. Wrong team. So let's do this. By the way, we were Supposed to get Doc Walker on today. He canceled. We got Xander at 3:30. Merrill is going to be also on tomorrow. So it's just going to be you and me here today. And I'll ask you right out of the gate here, please hit the like button. No. Hurts is trash. Hey, let me ask you this here, Steve. Hey, Steve, let me ask you something. You think Howie Roseman go head up right now and make a trade to send Jalen Hurts to Buffalo for Josh Allen? Buffalo wouldn't do it. You'd have to give him 2 first-rounders also and Jalen. There's your value with your boy. Shines off Hurts. Honeymoon's over. Honeymoon's over. The guy's not good. I've been telling you for 4 years. 22 was an anomaly. You even got people like Seth Joyner now saying, I'm getting concerned here about Hurts. Isn't it funny how everyone comes back around to Big Sills? You know, I'm getting concerned. That's right, Crowley. Hurts and 2 first-rounders wouldn't cut it. If you were going to trade Jalen Hurts to Buffalo, they would never do that. Why would they want a guy who can't throw the ball? You don't mind the turnovers, but you mind a guy who's not a passer. Crazy? Nobody in their right mind would trade for Jalen Hurts. Nobody. Oh, wait. Maybe Tennessee. So let me ask you this. Let's do, and then we're going to get to Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore today. And my top 10 NFL teams, my top 10 quarterbacks, the MVP race. How many people have a problem with Micah Parsons and Darius Slay doing a podcast together in season? Please do me a favor. I'm probably going to sound very old here. Okay? Very old. And I don't mean to. Hey, Senor. Jalen has 930 yards passing. Allen, get this. Okay, Senor. Who would you take as your starting quarterback? Jalen Hurts? Because he's got more passing yards. And by the way, 10 times more turnovers. Are you trying to tell me you think Jalen Hurts, because he has more passing yards, is better than Josh Allen? Are you fucking crazy? Wow. Whatever, guy. Whatever. I can't even believe I just wasted 2 seconds of my life. No shit. You're right. You're right, my friend. It's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous for me to do that. How many people have a problem with Darius Slay doing a podcast with Micah Parsons in season? How many people have a problem with it? I have a massive problem. Sills, keep cooking these groupies. Jalen Hurts is a Temu Tyson Hill. Tyson is just faster, more athletic, but Hurts squats 600 pounds. That's hilarious. Yeah, I forgot that. Brian says I do. Can you imagine fraternizing during the season, Cowboys and Eagles? Could you imagine Jerome Brown sitting down with Troy Aikman or Nate Newton and doing a podcast together? Am I sounding too old? Do I sound like old man Dan here with this? Am I sounding too old? Is that just the way it is today? Guys don't have rivalries. They don't respect the cities. They don't respect the fans. Michael Parsons doesn't respect Cowboy fans. And Darius Slay doesn't respect Eagle fans if you do that. At least have the illusion, at least lie. Darius Slay doesn't give a shit about you. That's what I read from that. My issue is this. He doesn't give a shit he's playing in Philly. Michael Parsons doesn't give a shit he plays in Dallas. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. You remember Xander said something yesterday about getting off the team bus and representing your city? Hey, Xander, you can fucking forget it. Half that Eagle team doesn't give a shit they're Eagles. Slay's a captain. Slay's a captain. And you have the head coach not giving a shit about the fans either. He backs them. Nick Sirianni lies to you every day and tells you that he loves our fans. He cares about the fans. No, he doesn't. Because you don't back Darius Slay sitting down with a Dallas Cowboy. I might get it during the offseason. Could you imagine Jason Kelce sitting down with Russell Maryland and doing a podcast in season? Dak is better than Jalen since he has 1072 then. Nick Sirianni doesn't give a shit about the fans. Hey, by the way, he insulted you by defending Slay. He defended Slay, which means it's a shit on you. Hey, Bob, your head coach, shit on the Philadelphia Eagle fans. Let me ask you this, guys. Help me if I'm wrong, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. Okay? Do you have a problem with the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles backing a guy doing a show, laughing out loud, having fun, ripping Gardner Johnson, doing all that shit in season? One's an Eagle, one's a Cowboy. Do you have a problem with that? You guys won't even let me hang my Dallas Cowboy helmet up. You won't even let me hang my Cowboy helmet up. Is that the Philly way now? Wow. That's the Philly way? Xander's, hey, I agree with him. He's right. But what Xander said, according to the Eagle head coach and Darius Slay, Xander's full of shit. Then again, those guys ain't from Philly. Those guys don't understand what representing a city is. Representing your colors. Representing a fan base. Dude, I've heard people say that they wouldn't sign with the Dallas Cowboys back in the day because they were Eagles. It's a bitch move. And the organization is okay with that. Get this. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to paraphrase it. Bucks, boys, put that helmet on. They own Philly. So he said that Darius Slay has done a lot and is part of this whole thing here. And what we're doing. He just tells you flat out the stuff they say about the fans. He don't mean it. He don't mean it. They don't mean that. They take advantage of you. They lie to you. They take advantage of you. Raise your ticket prices. They lie to you. Raise your ticket prices. Lie to you. Nobody in their right mind. Hey, you think Mike Tomlin would tolerate that in the city of Pittsburgh? Dude, when you play in Pittsburgh, you better act accordingly. And the head coach is going to demand that. You know why? Because the Rooneys demand that. The Rooneys demand that. I mean, Pittsburgh has more of an affection, and the Steelers have more of an appreciation for their fans than the owner of the Eagles and the front office of the Eagles have for their fans. I couldn't believe what I was listening to. Sills, I don't like Matt Patricia, but at least he called out the bum, Darius, told him to stop being a meat rider. He doesn't care. He meat rides too. Dude. Sills didn't say shit when the Travis and Jason had a podcast, opposing teams. They're brothers. They're fucking brothers. And the mom and dad came on the program. Get Senor. He's comparing two brothers doing a podcast that Andy Reid drafted in both places. And they have a tie-in to both places. Versus Darius Slay and Micah Parsons doing a podcast and they have nothing to do with one another except they play against each other twice a year. They have nothing to do with it. And this is the dumbest thing, well, one of the many dumb things that Senor has said. He's comparing two brothers to Slay and Michael Parsons, who have nothing in common except that they play against each other. What a dumbass take. You can't be dumber than that take right there. It's dumb. Just dumb. I mean, wow. And the head coach and the organization's cool with it. I mean, and then the head coach backs him. Hey, get this. The head coach backs him and goes like this. Hey, it's okay. I'm good. Me, I'm great. Those guys sucked on Sunday. Not me. You're okay with that? That's your form of accountability, Nick. The more Nick Sirianni fucking talks, the more he embarrasses himself, his city, and the Eagles. And he don't know it. It's why he's not qualified to be the head coach. He goes on WIP defending that guy this morning to the Eagle fan base, saying that guy is right, separating himself from the rest of his teammates who played poorly on Sunday. That's Nick Sirianni's accountability. That's accountability? That's accountability. That's Nick Sirianni's accountability. Is a player separating himself from the rest of his team, trying to convince you that shit wasn't his problem on Sunday. Darius just cares about his brand, no respect for us. None. Front office doesn't give a shit about us. Nice. Hey, Kimberly, tell me this. Am I sounding old? Am I sounding old? Abe says I'm trolling. Abe doesn't have a problem with it. I'm just trying to figure out what Nick's accountability is. Tell me this. You tell me if I'm old. Because I'll move on here. No, you're not, Seals. I agree with you 100%. I mean, dude, look at this. Is a great take by Mario. Major culture issue. What a complete misrepresentation of the Eagles and the Philly attitude. Boom. That's how I took it, Mario. Mario, that's how I took it. I got to tell you sometimes, guys, I always have to concern myself with sounding too old. I do. Okay? Because I don't. But when I heard Sirianni this morning defends Slay. My first thought was, damn, how the Philly fans going to feel about that? Thank you very much for becoming a new member. Thank you, sir. Madbird, Sills, I'm sick of seeing the team roll over and get their asses kicked. Fight. Go down swinging. I don't have a problem with that either, man. Teams are going to lose, Madbird. No matter which players are on the field, attitude reflects leadership. Another spectacular take. Here, this will be stupid, but I appreciate it. Don't act like Mahomes, Hurts, Reed, and Kelsey's podcast doesn't matter. The guests are not brothers. You pick and choose to be upset about. He's not upset about it. I'm not talking to Senor then. I'm not saying I don't talk to him, but I'm not talking to him. He don't get it. That's not what I said. Nick Sirianni defended him for separating himself, for being better than what happened on Sunday, too. He didn't have a problem with his tweet. Thank you for the super chat in a dumbass take, as usual. So, what NFL player posts their career stats after a blowout loss? Someone who doesn't give a shit where he's playing. RC3, he doesn't give a shit where he's playing. That's why. Okay? Get this. Senor goes, I don't give a fuck what anyone tweets about. Neither do I. I care how the coach acts about it. Because the coach sets the culture, doesn't he, Senor? The coach sets the culture, he says. It's the only fucking job he has, Senor. Senor goes like this, Slay's on one or two. That doesn't just reflect Slay. It reflects an attitude in the locker room. This guy looks at the micro and not the macro of what this guy is trying to convey to you. Nick Sirianni doesn't have a culture. Their culture is what Howie Roseman tells them to have. He's not getting it. That's okay. Most people like Senor don't get it. And by the way, the fucking podcast that goes on in Kansas City, those guys win Super Bowls. You can't compare anything to Cincinnati. The quarterback, the coach, the environment, the culture. You can't. You don't win like them. Nick supporting Slay shows the problem. That's exactly my point, Christopher. It's a broader thing here. When that guy comes out and says accountability every day, it says we hold people to accountability. No, he doesn't. Those are just words. When you are part of a team that has this much rivalry between the Cowgirls, you can't accept anything the other person says or does. That's why we have this. I'm glad that I'm not the only one. Get this. Senor's in the minority here. He's the only one that thinks like that. No one else in here does. That just shows you. 95% of the people in here think like us, not him. The front office thinks it knows more than the football people. A good franchise has owners who hire good football people and get the fuck out of the way, like Bob Kraft. Let me ask you something. It's a great takedown here by Abe. Do you think Jeffrey Lurie bleeds Kelly Green? Do you? You know Josh Harris doesn't bleed Sixer red. white and blue. Okay? Do you? Yeah, the only green, that's right, is money. I got a massive problem with Darius Slay. He's a shitty teammate. The quicker he gets off this football team, the better leadership issues you'll have. I'll tell you something else. The loss of Kelsey and Fletcher Cox is monumental this year, and it is on display every weekend. Every weekend, your lack of leadership from your quarterback down to your head coach is evident. Let me ask you this. Do you guys think you have great leadership right now in your locker room? BG's on an island. By the way, BG's trying to show leadership with his play. That's what he's doing. He's trying, but get this, when you get murdered, no matter how good you play, it doesn't matter. QB1 hasn't had a good game since the Renaissance. And Darius hasn't got a pick since the start of the Great Depression. Yet, there's no accountability. Think about that. Where's your leadership? Hey, has leadership been more of a problem than what we're saying here? Listen to it on the radio, watch it on the field. Man, that was where my takeaways from the early morning was that, what are you doing? The place is a mess. Saquon's a leader? Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you that. Yeah. There's no leadership on defense. Zero, except for BG. But when you're getting murdered, hard to have leadership. You know, I mean, when you're getting killed. How come this? Oh, man. Thank you, Sox. Hey, how come I feel better with the ball in the hands of Barkley than I do Hurts? Should that be? How come I feel better with the ball in Saquon Barkley's hands than Jalen Hurts' hands? By the way, like I said, that honeymoon's over. I couldn't be a coach today. I'm benching every sorry motherfucker. Whether you make $50 million or the veteran minimum. You want to embarrass me? I'll embarrass you. Brian, can't do that today to these guys because then you'll be this guy. Got to make sure you talk to M. Reyes a little bit, softer because he's kind of a pussy. So, you got to be careful. M. Reyes. Let me put this here for you. How many more games until you bench Jalen Hurts? Big Sills, hope you're doing well. Always love the show, man. Take care. Thank you, Nasty. How many more weeks do you let this go? Or do you believe the Eagles will ever bench Jalen Hurts? 1, 3. One more bad game, I'm done. Do you think this Eagle organization will bench Jalen Hurts if he continues his poor play? What do you think? Do you think they bench him? Would you bench him? Would I bench him? Yeah. I wouldn't have rolled him out after the middle of the third quarter. Why? For what? You were never going to win. When he turned the ball over, it was over. Do you agree with me? If they bench him, it's over. And then you have to do this. Sills, it ain't over. Hurts holds all the cards. You think the organization would go to him and say, let's see if we could try to work a deal to get you out of here? Move you to a place, maybe like Pittsburgh. Or maybe Justin Fields won that job. What Slay said was opposite of what Gobbler Nick preaches. Then he defends him. You should have the nuts to say, no, that's wrong. Never happened. He's afraid of losing his locker room. He's afraid of losing his locker room. That's right. Slager's right. Contract makes it impossible. Dead cap is fucked for the next 2 years. Actually, I think 3. Trading Hurts to Miami for Tua? I don't want Tua. No, thank you. I want to have a guy who doesn't have Skittles for brains. No, thank you. No disrespect, but this is a man's game here, and I can't count on Skittle brain in Miami playing in Philly. I don't want that nightmare. One nightmare for another nightmare? No, thank you. Tua's better. But Saban was right. You don't think they'll bench him, right? I don't either. I don't either. One last thing before we get on to the coordinators. Again, Sox, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Really cool. Thank you. Please, guys, hit the like button. So that Elliot Spitzer Shore guy who covers the Eagles and a mouthpiece for Bob Lang and them guys said that Nick Sirianni's a better option than Bill Belichick. You know, dude, a hamster is a better option than Nick Sirianni. Honestly, a hamster. He got benched in Bama. He needs a reminder. Hurts isn't bigger than the program. Oh, he thinks he is. Seals, look at our captains. A diva wide receiver, a mute quarterback on offense, a comedian and social media whore at DB. Lastly, we gave a C to a damn kicker. Kicker over Devontae Smith. You know who I would have named captain on that team? You know who'd be my captains? I'd have one fucking captain on that team. It'd be Brandon Graham. And there'd be no co-anything. There's no co-presidents. There's no co-captain on a boat. There's one pilot on an airplane. They do everything by fucking committee in Philly. From their captains to their game plans. Don't you see the culture? The reason they've got 70 captains is because 70 people are involved in the game plan. It's a collaborative effort. Fuck that. You don't have collaborative leaders. There's one dude. There's one guy. Get Slay out of here. Only soft players go on the enemy's podcast. Wanted feels would have made Jalen compete. That's why they didn't bring him. And they got the other guy. Tell you what, your captains, I never thought about it until right now, Xander. Your captains are a reflection of how you run your organization. How many captains do they have? 6? 6. How many captains do the Eagles have? And then you hear Nick and them guys, the offensive line coach, the wide receiver coach, Nussmeier, myself, Kellen. We formulate and talk about the game plan on Tuesday, Wednesday, and you're like, why am I talking to you? You suck at the game plan. Sileo crying about podcasts. Get Slay on here. Slay and Senor are in the minority. Who cares what they say? 70 it's 99-2. Who cares what you say? Get this. Here's this guy. I'm going to show you how this guy's full of shit, too. Sills, I listened to your bullshit yesterday. The team is banged up. You might be surprised when they insert Lane Johnson, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith into the lineup. Be back on the bandwagon. Well, let me ask you something here then with that comment. What the fuck happened to your football team when those guys were on your football team all last year in 23? What happened? Nothing. Same guys. Pretty much had the same attack team. You make it sound like those guys are going to make a difference. They didn't make a difference last year. Where were they? AJ didn't have a 100-yard game in the last 9 games of the year. Lane was giving up sacks left and right. Devontae was the only guy showing up. He was the only guy showing up in the Buck playoff game. You make it sound like this is a one-game deal. This is going on now 11 games. Dude, you're the same team as 23. You don't see it yet. That's okay. You'll come to daddy soon. You'll see it. You'll see it. You had those guys on your football team last year. They didn't make any difference. Oh, he's under the assumption if he had Lane and Devontae and AJ, they'd have got off the bus and beat the Bucks. No way. It'd been more competitive. You ain't beating Todd Bowles. You know why? Your quarterback's not good enough. Dude, he's overthrowing Saquon Barkley. He'll overthrow AJ. Todd Bowles has written the obituary for Hurts and how to cover him. You don't see it yet. Did you see Todd Bowles on the sidelines laughing? Nick is going to do everything in his power with to drag the team down. He knows the quarterback doesn't like him. 4 games is the max. I don't think they're firing his ass. Nasty. I always feel bad for Devontae. Me too. Guy, zero bullshit, all work. Deserves a better quarterback and organization. He's the antithesis of what you want as a professional football player. That is a leader. So Jake Elliott is going to break down the huddle and have me run through a wall on game day. Man, my team is cooked. Fucking kicker. I'd have threw up. Can you imagine Coach Johnson naming a kicker a captain? My God. I'm going to bring that up to him tonight. A fucking captain. A cook. It's like a cook. Hey, who am I going to name captain of my ship? Hey, name the fucking cook. Man. Holy shit. Dude. The thing's funny, man. Now it's getting funny. You got to cook as the captain. Darius Slay, is a terrible captain. I watched the conference today, and the issue is nobody has the balls to say the issue with the team. Fangio said about Avante played well, and bold-faced lie. You know what? Let's get to that because I heard that. Hey, Sox, I heard that shit too. I almost fell off my fucking chair when I heard that too. I did. Avante played well. Yeah, hey, CW, what's next? Kenny Pickett is also going to be a captain? Yeah. Hey, why don't you name Jahan Dotson a captain next? Hey, I got a better one. Why don't you name Hassan Reddick? Shit, he's not doing nothing. Why don't you just name Reddick captain? Oh, man. Just name Reddick captain. By the way, please hit the like button. All super chats have been great. Hey, name Huff. No, there you go. Big Dom's the captain of the Eagles now. Big Dom. Bryce Huff, captain. There you go, Senor. That's a great take. There you go. Look at Senor making a strong rebound here. There you go, Senor. I know M. Reyes won't. Hard for him to make a comeback. No way, baby. Hey, wait a minute. Sills, don't give him any ideas, man. They'll think making Huff a captain is like when Turner got cheered in his slump. Oh, no. You mean they've gone soft in Philly? Hey, maybe if we – oh, my God. Xander, this is why I had to ask the question. Maybe I'm too old. Hey, do you think? Hey, Senor. Not Senor. Because you rebounded. M. Reyes, I'm kind of soft on you a little bit here, okay? Hey, M. Reyes, do you think if we made Bryce Huff team captain, it would inspire him? 14-3. 14 if we. Why don't we make him captain and make him feel better about himself? Then give him a nice reach round. Feel okay? And Reyes, 14-3. That's a great idea. Hey, Nick, Vic, let's make Bryce Huff captain. Bet you inspires him. Hey, if we were on a boat out at sea, I'd throw him overboard. I'd throw his ass overboard. What happened to Huff? I don't know. He's like that hoop player, man, and never came back. Too soon? He was like that hoop player that never came back. Yeah, man, I don't know what happened, man. We were out to sea, and Bryce Huff fell overboard and shit. It was a squall. Hey, it was like a squall, and Bryce Huff fell overboard, and I don't know. He was like that Nets basketball player, never came back. What happened to him? I don't know. I don't know what. Hey, did you try? I don't know. He fell over. Howie for captain. What was that guy's name? Brian something. Johnson? I forget his name, man. That basketball player who never came back. I'm probably the youngest Eagle fan here. We have to stop being delusional. What Slay did was soft. Would have been cut. Hey, can you imagine doing that shit around Buddy Ryan? Sox, can you imagine doing that shit around Buddy Ryan? Hey, man, why don't we just hang out? You know, Pat Riley had a rule, no fraternizing. Had a rule, no fraternizing. Yeah. Yeah, someone's got to think of that guy's name that went on that boat. He never came back. That's what I like to do to Bryce Huff. Let's take – hey, you know what? Hey, Bryce. Vic, come on in. You have to go to Reno with Michael. Anthony. Come on, Vic. You got to go to Reno. Okay? Then you take Bryce Huff out for a ride out there on Lake Tahoe. Pop. What happened to Bryce Huff? Kid, I don't know. What happened to him? Holy cow. That's like Jerome hanging out with Darren. That ain't happening. Yeah, that ain't happening. Hey, Vic. Nick's got to go to Reno. Bryce Huff, you can go out fishing with Nikki the Bruiser and Big Dom. They're going to take you out to the middle of Lake Tahoe. Pop. Good night. Hey, what happened to Bryce? He's the bottoms. He's sleeping with the fishes. That's what happened to his ass. Imagine Trotter, Dawkins, and Trent doing – no way! Slay on the podcast asking, what's Micah Parsons' shoe size? My God. Holy shit. I'm surprised they didn't share a cot together. Hey, I really love you. You're really a great guy. I really love hanging out with you. You're a cowboy and eagle. I just maybe sound too freaking old here with this. Like a butt buddies. That's kind of like a circle jerk. Hey. Sills, you jack. I told your ass last year the defense couldn't tap. Oh my God. What? This guy is out of his mind. I've been saying this for 4 years. Holy cow. Revisionist history right here with this guy. Hey, dude, seriously, man. You must drink a 6-pack of you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No Play Slay and Missing Parsons are perfect for one another. That's a great take. They talk shit, don't show up when it counts. Boom! Frankie, that is right in the chin. Frankie, that is great. Holy shit. Oh, James Jones, are you going to have a surprise today? Bro, everything we said it for the last 3 years. How can you not see it? I know. All of a sudden, here comes Sean parachuting in, all drunked up and liquored up, going, I said this last year. And we're going, what? Holy shit. I saw Trey Thomas called out Slay. Damn, dude, what are you doing? Damn, dude, what are you doing? So let's get to Vic Fangio and the pressers today. That's why we can't tackle. Everybody's smiling. Yeah, because no one has any balls. You're soft as M. Reyes. Come on, M. Reyes. You got to have a comeback, man. Come back strong, dog. Senor did. Come on, M. Reyes. That's a good thing about our viewers in here. You may get knocked down, I may get knocked down, but everybody gets back up again. Well, maybe not M. Reyes. We'll see. Even Forte with a halfway decent take. Fangio said pressing wide receivers is on the cornerbacks. M. Reyes, all right? That's a comeback. There you go. There you go. That's a comeback. I thought you had one nut. Now you got two. Congratulations to you. You surprised me. Let's get to Vic here. We couldn't get close to the quarterback. Pass offense was better than us. Yeah. Been telling you that. You have good people. Yeah, we do. We drafted a whole shitload of guys. And we're getting Sidney Brown back, and we're going to have Quinyon and Cooper DeJean, and you're going to put all of the young faces out there against Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. They'll do the same shit to them too. Get this. What makes you think Quinyon Mitchell, as talented as he is, could cover Mike Evans for 60 minutes? Are you out of your mind? Mike Evans is going to wear a gold jacket. Chris Godwin's considered one of the top 20 wide receivers in the league. Who in your secondary can cover those guys with no pass rush? Tell me. Cooper, the white guy? Who else? Kumbaya podcast. Where rivals come together. Hilarious. Hilarious. Kumbaya. Kumbaya. Darius Slay and Micah Parsons were family and lovers. Dogs became a YouTube member. Thank you, brother. We love one another, Cowboys and Eagles. Shit, the players love the Cowboy guys and the Cowboys more than the fans of Philly do. Sills, will you be my fishing buddy? Maniac, you and me on the boat? Drinking beers, sitting around, eating gabagool, some pizza, asking about shoe sizes. Hey, man, do you like a firm bed or do you like a kind of a bouncy bed? Do you like a hard pillow or a soft pillow? Me personally, I like the pillow in the middle. How you doing? What kind of pillow do you like there? Hey, New Jersey Maniac, what do you like? Soft pillow or you like a hard pillow? You like a bouncy bed or a hard bed? You know what I go, Holy shit, Slay and Micah Parsons, man. You guys should be fitted for matching suits. Hey, Micah, it's a little sunny out. You want some baby oil on your back? Hey, New York. Hey, New Jersey Maniac. You want me to rub a little bit of baby oil on your back when we're out at sea? Hey, Maniac, you got some exceptional traps here. What size is your foot? You want a little baby oil? Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off. Just keeping it real here. New Jersey Maniac. What a wormy podcast. What size is your foot over there, Micah? You know what they mean with small hands, Kenny. Best hour of Sill show I've... Wax on, wax off. Hey, Micah, do you need a little baby oil in your back? Darius Slay, I am the best at baby oil. I can't fucking tackle, so hell. This is one of the reasons I got baby oil on my hands half the time. What size is your foot? Yeah, like a hard pillow. By the way, my foundation look good for the podcast? How's my foundation? You look good? Baby oil is going down with P. Diddy locked up sales. Thank you. Holy cow. Hey, would you like me to make you a pot pie? Those guys probably eat cream puffs. Hey, I've got cream puffs. What size is your foot again? Oh, honey, it's a 13 and a half. Well, shit, that's not as big as my foot. I got a 17. I got an 18 foot. Men should never ask another man what size his foot is. How tall are you? What do you want to date? Hey, so what do you think of the Eagle and Cowboy matchup this week? I'm going to fucking kill you. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a knife and stab you in the heart. Oh, we can't talk like that on the podcast. It incites a riot. It's Eagles and Cowboys. Does anything else incite a riot more? How to fix Eagles. Lori Howie. Gotta go. Reed couldn't get it done here. All Reed did was win 13-3, 12-4, NFC, one Super Bowl, one loss. What's the common thread between them and now? Owner, GM, we are effed. T-Bone, thank you very much. That's really kind. Thank you. Sills does dictate the cornerbacks play 10 yards off the ball. That's not what he said. Let me get to it. Yeah, let me get to that. Hey, Darius Slay's an awful teammate. No wonder Patricia hated him. No wonder he hated him. First thing Parsons and Slay asked at Diddy's party is, which baby oil's mine? Mine is the anal lubricant. Mine is the the petroleum one. No, Slay probably uses the anal one, and I would think Parsons uses the lubricant. I'm not sure. Hey, you should be killed for that podcast. You should be every single Philadelphia person that has an outlet or a platform should kill those two. People in Dallas should kill Michael Parsons too. Okay? They should kill him. They should kill him. Not literally, but in the media. Slay, nice bend. Here's my stats. Oh, God, that's great bumper. Hey, you got a nice lean forward. Here's my stats. 6'1", I'm 184 pounds. I've got a washboard gut. And boy, I'll tell you what, I love straws in my mouth. And by the way, I did everything I could to be on that tush push. P. Diddy with the new tush push specialist. How you doing? Oh, yeah, you couldn't. Hey. Oh, hey. I am right now. You know, this is all fun and good, but I'm killing that guy for a reason. That's unbecoming. It's unbecoming. It's unbecoming of the Eagles. Every Philadelphia Eagle guy who's ever played is now going, come on, Slay, what's up? And there's Sirianni defending him. That's why I asked the question. Am I too old? Am I too old? Because that, to me, is unbecoming of a culture and is also unbecoming of accountability. That was my problem. I don't care you have a podcast. I don't care as long as it doesn't get in the way of business. Every NFL guy today, you have a brand. The NFL is bigger than anything on the planet right now. And I'm talking about our planet, America. And for players to be able to have an opportunity to make money, no problem. I have no problem with that. And how you want to transition into something. Media person, media personality, broadcasting, what have you. I'm all good with it. But dude, really? Know your moments. It's like, hey, Micah, do you manscape? Yes, I got the pubic one. I got the pubic shaver. Got a little close to the cannoli, but hey, It really does a nice job. Okay? Slade's a disgrace to the Eagle uniform. He never takes accountability. Hey, hey, Frankie, every time he gets beat, he posts his stats and tells everybody everyone sucks but him. Everyone sucks but him. On the boat, maniac. On the boat. Hey, Micah, do you manscape? Let me get the Vic. He was asked the question, how can you get a performance like you did against the Saints and the Buccaneer performance? How can it go that south one week to another? He goes, I don't know. Syria on the corner, fundamentals. He couldn't answer the question. How can you play like that against New Orleans and turn around and basically shit a brick against the Bucs? He couldn't. He goes, I don't know. He goes, we couldn't get him in third long. Okay. He said this. You've got to be better committed. You've got to get better coaching. Got to play better technique. That was effort. I'm talking about the defense more so. Carter is on pace for 900 snaps. So, you're 22 years old. So, Vic even said it. I've been places where guys play that. 900 snaps, so? It's one thing for Brandon Graham to play 900 snaps. Another thing for a 22-year-old kid he drafted 9th. What'd you expect from him? 50? What are you talking about? Well, he's going to play 900 snaps. So? 22 years old. "15 missed tackles." He goes, we counted. I think there was more like 18. But hey, after 4, who's keeping count? You know the majority, if you go back and watch it, the majority of the big plays came after missed tackles. You were in position to get the guy on the ground, but the lack of talent couldn't. Do you understand what I'm saying? The scheme was right. The coaching was right. The players couldn't get him on the ground. Do you understand what I'm saying? More big plays in that Buck game were because of lack of getting a guy on the ground after contact. They couldn't get – they don't have very good tacklers. And it's gotten worse since 22. Last year was bad. This year it's worse. How do you get better at tackling? Film study? Dude, I'm going to tell you this again. Making you a great brain surgeon, the only way you're going to be a great brain surgeon is studying and doing it. Studying and doing it. Writing it on a chalkboard is not going to make you a better 3 technique. You got to go play it. Again, he made the point. The Buccaneers' big plays came after contact. Then the media guys went into this holier savior Sidney Brown thing. Holy shit, you think you're getting Brian Dawkins. Sidney Brown's not going to do dick this year. He's been out a year and a half. You really think he's going to make an impact on this team? He wasn't a good tackler last year. The fuck are you talking about? This is dumb stuff. Yo, Sidney Brown's coming back, and it looks like he's coming back after the bye week. He was asked the question about watching film. He said him and Nick watch film together every week. What possibly could Nick Sirianni add to a defensive coach's meeting? How come we didn't get the guy on the ground? Well, because Howie didn't put good players on the team? Is that what you tell him? You got to make a tackle. How do you explain that? There's no way they talk to the media the same way they talk in team meetings. No way. Because any coach worth his weight will sit there and go, that guy needs to play better. Listen to this Bryce Huff thing. By the way, Xander's going to join us at 3:30. Listen to this Bryce Huff thing. Bryce Huff, he's improving. You have to be kidding me. He's not improving. He's getting worse. He's not improving. Why are you covering for the GM? Tell the truth. You can't tell the truth in Philly. You can't tell the truth. Who in their right mind that watches football, who's not even an expert coordinator or position coach, don't care what level you played, thinks that Bryce Huff is playing well and getting better? Who thinks he's getting better? He had 33 snaps and 1 solo tackle. Who thinks he's getting better? The only reason you're doing that is because you don't, boy. The coaches can't say any shit about Howie. I can't say any shit about Howie. You ever noticed none of the questions are asked about Howie Roseman in the meetings? Why doesn't someone just say this? Do you feel you didn't tool the team, Vic? With proper personnel you need to play your system? How about asking that question? Can't do that because that goes right to the GM. And you know what Vic would do? No, I got to coach better. No, you don't have good people. Cooper DeJean is close. He's closing the gap. For what? This is the only thing he said, Vic Fangio, that I couldn't believe. You ready? Gardner Johnson needs to tackle better. He needs to play better. And I don't really think he understands the playbook. What? $8 million to have a guy. Wait a minute. I want to show you something. $51 million in Bryce Huff. And then Vic saying CJ needs to tackle better. He doesn't really think he understands the concepts of the playbook. He needs to study more. If I were Gardner Johnson and I heard that, knowing his personality, that's not going to go over well. Now you're going to start to see a little bit of the Miami shit starting to pop up here. That's how I took that. There's no way that Gardner Johnson and Vic Fangio are on the same page. No way. Do they like one another? No way. No way. After a comment like that. And then what Nick was worried about was Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey, the way they talked shit on Fangio last year about him and his defense being antiquated to being too old and shit. He don't want to have that kind of conversation going around anymore. You seen when Reed had Baker head up and got ran over? Baker was supposed to be in the tent. Brian Dawkins would have put his ass there for sure. Damn, dude. Gardner Johnson got shit on. Thanks for the super chat. By the way, all of them go to the front. Thank you. Guys, give me a heads up where we are in the like list. Thank you very much and where we are in the likes. You guys have been killing it. You killed it yesterday. Please hit the like button. Here's Kellen Moore. Xander will be with us at the bottom of the hour. Oh, we also have today top 10 NFL teams, quarterbacks, and MVP race. And Jalen. Sills, it starts and ends with Howie Roseman. How we built it, and he staffed it. That's right. We're concerned with the quarterback who has no feel for the pocket, but we have a GM who has no feel for the game. It's a great superstar take. It's a great take. Here's Kellen. Got to start faster. No shit. They want to get the ball in the hands of Saquon Barkley more. So you're telling me this on a Tuesday and not doing it on a Sunday? Can you be any fucking more unprepared for that game to tell me that now? Tuesday morning quarterback, you didn't see that in the game? That you really thought that throwing the ball was, you fell behind. So what? You were not going to get back into the game with the receivers. Barkley showed you coming out of the half. If you stuck to the run game, he was the only guy that was going to give you a chance to win that game. You would have worked the clock a little more. You would have been down 21-7. Okay? Monumental task. Well, Paris Campbell and Dotson and Wilson and Ross aren't going to get you back in it. And Hurts. They're not going to get you back in the game. Hurts and Barkley are. How do you not know that? How do you not know that? They thought it was more important because they panicked to get the ball into their hands, and they couldn't, Dotson, of Paris Campbell, to try to win a game versus giving the ball to Barkley. Sills, but, when you're behind like that, don't you have to throw the ball? Yeah, when I've got Devontae and AJ, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Who in their right mind would go to the lesser players? Unless you were just absolutely ego and you thought that the quarterback was better than he is. He's not. With that talent that he had on the field, he's not very good. He's okay. The strip sack. Couldn't answer the strip sack. T-Bone, thank you. Hey, woke Philly fans. How you like your woke Eagles? Isn't inclusion such a good thing? The difference between respect and disrespect is truth versus lies. Sills, too many wokesters. I got your back. T, thank you. Get this, once again. It's the worst 2-2 team in the league. And you know what? It's crazy. People go, well, when you get your players back, no. You wouldn't have won that Buck game. Because the quarterback's not good enough. No matter if you had Jerry Rice and Randy Moss as receivers. You pretty much have that now. They didn't protect well. That's an understatement. Kept coming up with that same line. You know, you get a chance to get better. 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 Okie dokie. One positive we found, our wide receiver 3. So a lot of players don't know what it means to be a Philadelphia Eagle. Coming in the door, it's, yes, players Roseman trades for don't know either. Seth, Reggie White, Jerome, Brian D. They're Eagles. That's why I asked the question. Okay? If I sound too old with that. Hey, when you hire mercenaries, they don't give a shit where they play. They just care you pay them. That's all. That's all. The head coach doesn't give a shit about the Philly fans. Slay doesn't give a shit about them. Don't give a shit about you. They lie to you and tell you they do. You got a head coach defending it. Talks to me about culture, fans. Talks to me about the Philly way. That's the Philly way. Hey, I'm better than my teammates right now. You know, after you get killed, you put your statistics up, try to make yourself feel good. Hey, dude, I don't care how good you are. The ship goes down, you go down with it. It's a team sport. Darius Slay is an awful teammate. Him and a kicker are your captains. A kicker. Darius Slay. That's all you need to know. A kicker. Jesus criminy. Slay is God. Look at this. There you go. Nick was the guy who everyone called cheese. Yeah. Then you got Devin White. See my boy, Levante David, making that strip sack on Hurts. You think he gives a shit being an Eagle? Let me guess. Yes. Yes. You got a bunch of them guys. Hey, because he got his little butt hurt and he didn't dress for the game, he thought he'd do something shitty with his team that threw him off the team. Told him to get the fuck out of town. He thought he'd do something shitty. It's kind of hard to beat Devin White when the Bucks and the Eagles hate you, isn't it? Dude, the Bucks and the Eagles hate you. Sills, would you agree that Hurts is our biggest crutch? The defense is bad, but it played bad as a collective unit. Hurts is the only guy on the team that can help swing the game one way or another. Oh, Gabe. Dude, this is not a conversation I enjoy. But I'm not surprised. Who in their right? Brady even says it. The quarterback has no feel for the pocket. He's just not good in the pocket. He can't feel pressure. Get this. He's doing a better job at spotting the pressure, but he's still getting sacked. They had 6. The Bucks had no sacks coming into the game. They had no sacks. They had 6. Because he sucks. Still Slay on Slay on Micah's podcast got shady mad. I don't blame him. Forgive me. Going to defend Hurts. Okay, no problem, T-Bone. He's what he is. And it is the result of too many quarterback coaches, OCs, head coaches. His talent was wasted. What might have been? T-Bone, I'm going to do something here. And you tell me if this also applies. Forgive me. I'm going to defend Wentz. He is what he is. He's the result of many quarterback coaches, OCs, and head coaches. His talent was wasted. What might have been. And Wentz never had the talent around him that Jalen had. He had trash cans. As much as I like Hurts' attitude, he needs to sit down. I'd be willing to see what Matt Hasselbeck can do with all this damn talent at this point. The reason I bring up Wentz is because they're coaching him the same way. Kenneth, Mansell's, I usually stop listening to you after game 4 because you're normally wrong. But everything you've said this year has been accurate. Now I'm listening again, cuz your takes are making sense. Kenneth, last year when they were 10-1, they looked like the team they are now. This is not going to get better, Kenneth. You're going to be better next year and the year after, and you're going to be better, not this year. I think your defense will be better next year. I think it'll look a hell of a lot different. You'll get an edge rusher from somewhere, and I think you're going to be better. Okay? I do. I mean that. I think your Super Bowl window opens next year, not this year. Look at Geno. It's the only hope I have for Hurts. It's a great take. It's a great take. Look at Baker. Hey, JAKIB, look at Baker. Look at Sam Darnold. Get good coaching around those guys. Look at them. They're all winning. So if Mahomes had a competent coach, who does that fall on, Howie? Flexen, it's not so much a competent coach. It's a consistent coach. It's a consistent coach is what I'm after. Xander said something. Before I bring Xander on, so Xander said something about getting off the bus and representing your city. Well, I agree with him. That's why I asked the question again. Do I sound old? Because I don't want to. But I couldn't find a guy on social media, from Seth to Trey Thomas to Shady to anybody, who thought Nick Sirianni defending Darius Slay was a good look on his tweet. And then he goes and does a podcast with a Dallas Cowboy guy, and he's just oblivious to what and where he plays. And he's a fucking captain? Hey, Nick talks about accountability. How about accountability and respectability? Know the people you're playing around. Hey, you may not like the city you're in. Lie. Don't come off like, hey, it's me and everyone else. The issue is once Philly pays a quarterback, they want to be pass happy since we paid them. Totally true. Same thing with Wentz. Too many politics, get too many voices while we're screaming, run the ball. Amen. All right. Without further ado, Guys are doing a great job in the morning on Birds 365. John McMullen. I'll tell you what, I heard John McMullen in the scrum asking these questions to the coordinators. I don't know how you look at these guys and not just look at them and go, what happened to the effort? Where was the effort? The accountability. Vic saying that Bryce Huff is getting better? I would have jumped out of my chair and went, you're kidding, Vic? He's getting better? No, you mean Brandon Graham is getting better. All about protecting Howie's ass. All about protecting Howie's ass. Xander, before you bring it up, let me read this last one here. Sills, if we win the Super Bowl in 22, we wouldn't care about last season. I think losing killed the team. Trucker, you're dead on. I'll tell you one thing's for sure. I don't really give a shit. I'm going to bring Xander up here in a second. I don't give a shit about the Rams not having really good football over the last 2 years or 3 years. You know why? They won it. I'll take 3 years of mediocre, shitty football for a Super Bowl. No problem. Instead of having M. Race 12, 14, and 3, give me a Super Bowl and a mediocre football for 2 years, 3 years, and I get to build it back up again. I'll take the Lombardi over that dumbass record any day. All that saying, now we go to the man, the myth, the legend, the co-host of Birds 365, Big Z, Xander Kraus. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
All good. Hey, man, I thought maybe what I would do is, I'll start doing a podcast here with Seth. So we'll go back and forth. I'll be separate from you, though, and my gig here, who pays me, just me and him will go do it and just start talking shit on everybody, man. I mean, I don't get it, man. He talks about accountability, and I'm talking Nick here. And you know what? Some people may think it's a small thing, but the small things have destroyed many things in that building, and it shows to be large things in the end. I mean, first and foremost, your takeaway with Nick Sirianni defending Slay, saying, hey, that wasn't me, that was them. And on top of that, him doing a podcast with Micah Parsons. You got a problem with all that?
Well, I'm torn. What do I have a bigger problem with? You getting destroyed by Baker Mayfield and going on Twitter and tweeting out your career stats, or the next day going on a podcast with a dude who just shat on your teammate who's on the same side of the ball as you, and then you go on there on his podcast and start chuckling. I brought this up with John this morning. He's like, who gives a shit what they do? Who cares about Slay? He likes everybody. He's friendly with everybody. And I think there's a part of this that, and I'm not criticizing you older fans, but I want to tell you something that people are missing about modern players, right? We talk about these old school coaches and how a modern player is. You know what else modern players give a shit about? Social media, perception on the internet. CJ Gardner-Johnson has a side business where he does streaming and posting and all sorts of, and Darius Slay is on a teammate's podcast laughing about him. That's going to fracture the line. Forget about Slay going on with Micah Parsons. And honestly, Slay didn't even say anything wrong. He said, if you talk shit, you got to back it up. I don't disagree with that. But CJ Gardner-Johnson already posted something on his Instagram. I forget what it said, damn or something. These players care about this stuff, man. If you're a leader of a football team, we talk about how coaches have to adapt to the modern player, and the league is adapting to the modern player. Darius Slay's got to read the room. You're talking about a dude who cares about social percent. Whether he's right or wrong for it is beside the point. You're going to fracture your locker room week 4 going into the bye week. CJ Gardner-Johnson already posted up something about it. So,
but again, Xander, okay, I get making the transition into that shit. I'm talking more about this. I mean, Nick and everyone talk about the fans of Philly, talking about representing your city. Don't talk to me about representing your city when you don't give a shit about it then, and try to come off telling me that you care about the fan base.
No, he doesn't.
And look, I said it. These guys today, you're making transitions into doing. I don't have a problem with any of that. But when the organization is trying to tell me some bullshit about how you care about the fans' perception. They sell tickets on the Cowboys. They raise tickets for Cowboys and Eagles. And then you're telling me, hey, it really doesn't matter.
No, you're right. You're right. But look, this is what I'm pushing back on. Tony, you're right about this, but that's not my point, Tony. You're right. Having social media doesn't do shit for these guys. But the dudes who care about it, you still have to make your locker room a cohesive unit. You have to play like a team in order to win like a team. If you're gonna put, outcast one of your players on the internet when he cares about, I'm not saying that's what helps you win games, but being one unit does help you win games. Slay doing that fractures a player, and that's going to leak into on-field play. This is the modern game, Tony. Go look at all the college guys coming up into the league in the next couple of years. Half of them are multimillionaires from making posts on social media. They care about their check just like everybody else. So it's a big thing in today's world, and I don't think I think a lot of older commentators, they're all right. I think you're correct on it, but you're missing that part of it as well, where CJ Gardner-Johnson's like, yo, dude, fuck you. That's the mentality he's going to have, and that's a bad. Forget what you think of Slay going on. That's a bad move as a leader of a team, a guy that wears a C on his chest to outcast a player. By the way, a player who struggled early in the year right now, a big talker who has struggled immensely in the first 4 games. Vic called him out today. Yeah, Vic called him. I mean, you got to play into that shit, man. You're a leader. You're bigger than yourself. You are not just playing for Darius Slay. You're not even just playing for the Eagles. You're playing for the dudes in the locker room that look to you as a captain. Then you go and burn one of them. What's that thing? What does that do for CJ? And then what does that do for every other dude on the defense who looks at Slay as a leader?
And it alienates.
That dude have my back?
It alienates the player then with the coordinator.
It's a total alienation of your players. And as a captain, you got to read the room on that. And I thought that was extremely stupid. Extremely stupid.
I mean, how many captains do they have?
They got like 6 or 7. I don't know. They're all voted on by the team. It's a team. And because I brought it up to John, I'm like, and he's like, the team voted Slay a captain. And I'm like, yeah, well, maybe the team doesn't know best. Maybe that's why you need a leader in the room.
Right.
Sometimes leaders have to do things that not everybody agrees with, but they do it for the greater good without the emotional people seeing it. It's like a charity fest.
But that's how they run their organization, by committee.
But that shows you why Slay's the type of leader he is. Why is Slay a captain? Because he's a good leader, or because he makes buddy with everybody he talks to?
I have no idea, because I
think
he's
leader.
A shitty teammate.
Slay has never proven to be a good leader. That's why he was never a captain before he got to Philly in his 8-year career before he got here. He's not a leader, and he's showing that he's not a leader by his actions. And you can, I get the people who are like, who cares what he does? Go on the field and play. You're right, but that ain't a leader.
He's a captain, though.
That's what I'm saying. I would go as far as to say he should be stripped of his say. And that's how you send a message, right? Nick Sirianni goes up there and he's like, oh, who cares? Dude, nobody in this whole organization, Sills, is so soft.
Yes.
From top to bottom. Nobody wants to put their foot down on anything.
They tell you about accountability, and then you hear Vic Fangio say that Bryce Huff is getting better and he's improving. And you're like, nobody in their right mind thinks that. Nobody in their right mind thinks that.
The whole organization is so I don't even recognize it. It's so soft.
Yes.
No coaches call anything out. No team captains, things go wrong, and it's just like rah this, rah that. Chuckles with Micah Parsons and career stats posted to Twitter. Let's make Jake Elliott a captain because he's a solid kicker. Nobody wants accountability. Nobody wants a real leader. And I think it was actually Brian. He drops a lot of super chats. I think it was actually Brian on the post game show when I was talking with the people, and he put in a super chat about the leaders on this team, and there's no real alpha dog. And I kind of pushed back, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I don't see an alpha, but the more I'm thinking about it, who's up there? Look, leaders are polarizing figures because many people don't like what a leader says. Even when it's for the greater good, most people that are being led by a leader don't understand that until you get to the end. That's why a leader is important. And we don't have it. It's all just like this collective rah-rah.
Let me ask you,
we're working for our standard and we're working
Xander, how
together.
many
And
leaders?
But this is why we won 3 out of our last 13 games or whatever it is. And there's been no correction. You keep saying, why does this look like last year? Because it does. Nobody has addressed the issues head on. No
Xander.
leader in the room saying, yo, man, we fucking sucked at this. Yo, dude, we got to be better in this area. None of it.
How many leaders did you have on the 2017 team, do you think?
Oh, you had a lot of leaders on that football team. Nick Foles was a leader, and he didn't start until, week 13 or 14? He became a leader instantly. Chris Long was a phenomenal leader. Even LeGarrette Blount was a leader on that team. Alshon Jeffrey Alshon Jeffrey,
left tackle,
a perfect example of the alpha. He's like that subtle dude that doesn't give a fuck, And he went to that Super Bowl. That's that famous Super Bowl press conference he had was tremendous. But that team had that mentality. They didn't give a shit about outside noise. They cared about standing up for one another, and that's why they wrote a backup quarterback to the Super Bowl. This team could never do that ever.
They have none of that kind of leadership.
Couldn't even sniff that. So
That's right. That 17 team would blow this team off the field.
Yeah, but you and the bigger point about the leadership on that team is you don't rally behind a backup quarterback and march your way to the Super Bowl and beat Goliath and Brady and Belichick.
And then allow him to make the craziest decision in the history of the franchise.
That's right. I missed the biggest leader on that team, by the way. I missed the biggest leader on that team, Kyle. Malcolm Jenkins was a massive leader on that. He was the closest thing we've ever had since Brian Dawkins. And Brian Dawkins was early. I'm obviously a younger fan, but Malcolm Jenkins was the epitome of a leader on a football team. And we have none of Jason Peters, another good one. Abe, shout out to Jason Peters. He just got signed again today. So 21st year in the league. Gotta love it. But,
Go. Hey, by the way, hit the like button here. We really appreciate this. Xander, I'm going to ask you maybe one of the toughest questions that, I couldn't believe that somebody on WIP actually confronted Nick and asked him about his job security. I'll get to that here in a minute, but I want to ask you about this. Do you think the Eagles would ever contemplate benching Hurts?
Not at this point.
No. I didn't say what point. I said, do you think they would contemplate benching him this year at any time this season?
Coming off the conversation we just had about how soft this team is, I don't see it, Sills. I really don't. I think this dude could be flat out playing like the worst quarterback in the league. Not that he is right now. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying for the sake of the scenario, if he was, I don't even know if they would do it then. I really don't, because it would be who would it be an embarrassment on? Jalen, Howie, and Jeffrey. They're not going to do that, dude. They're not going to do that. I don't see that happening. And we just talked about the problems. You think this team would rally around a backup? They can't even rally. They can't even rally around the best group of starters they've ever had.
They can't even rally around backup receivers. How are they going to rally around a backup quarterback?
You're right. This is one of those bigger problems that, people dispute it and say it doesn't matter until it matters so much.
Yep.
The team's never going to overcome it. Now listen, I will say this. We're 2-2. We're 4 games into this thing. We have 13 games to go. I'm not out on this team by any stretch of the imagination.
Lot left.
But there's a lot of football left. But some of these problems that you see coming up, just like, why? Like, why are we as grown, professionals and a team that the city is counting on? Why is this even happening? Like, why are we sitting here Tuesday after a 2-2, after a brutal loss to the Bucs, talking about Darius Slay on a podcast and tweeting out stats? That's so petty. That's so below a team that operates like a championship organization. We have really lost it. So whatever gold standard, Lurie was talking about after Doug won, that is so long gone. It hurts to acknowledge.
We have over 1,000 people in all the social media platforms right now. Guys, please do me a favor and hit the like button here. So remember when I asked you the question, you thought maybe that this was one of those mundane questions from Big Sills here. And I think a lot of people thought this. I asked people the entire offseason, do you think the 23 issues have been addressed? And everyone pretty much verbatim came on and said, yeah, I think they've all been addressed. Isn't it funny when you see adversity hit? This team cannot handle adversity. They're front runners. When things are going great, they're 10-1. Everybody's happy. When situations have to be addressed and things have to be talked about, they hide from it. They won't address the turnovers with Hurts. They won't address his pocket presence. They won't address the lack of talent on defense. And the quick go-to is it's coaching. That's the quick go-to. No, this is player performance, like John McMullen says, and this is player staff building. This is staff building and roster building. It comes down to two people, the owner and the GM, on putting the product out there on the field. Xander, you and your dad are responsible for everything at JAKIB Sports, correct?
Yeah.
It comes to you. This is your responsibility. It's not just about the host, or it's not about the people it's if you don't think it's going to resonate and move the needle, that's on you. That's not on me. I'm doing the best I can. These guys are doing the best they can. They're not good enough. They're not good enough coaches, and they're not good enough players that they put on the team. Why is that so fucking hard to address in a meeting when you have the head coach or you have a coordinator? You go, hey, Vic, it's one thing to draw up a picture. It's another thing to try to make it into a Picasso. Not everybody is a Picasso. Just because you make it look like one doesn't make it one. You have to have the artist to make it. I get it. But you also have to have the talent to make it look like that. The Eagles don't have it. They hide from that. It's covering for Howie everywhere. You're telling me Bryce Huff is good? Come on, Vic. Do you really have to blow Howie that much?
So do you think any of this is a want to problem? Like, we could sit here and say the players aren't good enough, or Howie hasn't. Do they want it bad enough?
No.
Does Jalen Carter wake up with his fucking blood boiling to be the greatest defensive tackle in the history of the game? I don't think that used to be a badge of honor to be like that in any profession, let alone sports. In anything.
You sound old. That's not the kid. That's not the kid today.
It's now. But you know what the badge of honor is now is, oh, I need to unwind. Football's not my whole world. That's the new badge of honor.
How many times do you hear that coming out of college from people? Even Myles Garrett. Football's not my number one priority. I mean, look at Michael Parsons. You really think football is his top priority?
Oh, he doesn't.
Michael Parsons has multiple priorities right now.
That's why I've never been one of the people to call for him to come to the Eagles. Dude, I want some old school guys, man. Like, who one of my favorite dudes who got drafted in recent years is, and I haven't followed his career that closely just because I work so much, on the Eagles and stuff, is George Pickens. Like, that dude is just like an in your face, fuck you, I'm better than you. That's the type of dude I love. Dude, if this is football, guys, we're talking about the pinnacle athletes in our country clashing heads. You need some beasts out there. You can't have dudes that are, soft as Charmin or who are making buddy with the enemy. That's why we play soft, because that's our mentality going into it. I'd love to get some players like that, dude. We need some old school football back. Old school players back. Let's get
by the way, Socks, we're going to get to all the super chats at the end of the conversation, so don't worry. Nobody's super chat will be missed here. It's totally true, man. I mean, I'm listening to these coordinators talking, and here was my problem with Kellen. Was asked a question about the strip sack. Hurts' pocket presence. Somebody brought it up and asked a really good pointed question. You know what he said? Well, we got to scheme up the play better. Scheme up the play? No, he's got to have a better feel for it, man.
Yeah, here's and I'll go right to the same point on Jalen, because I'm not even going to criticize Jalen here. Is Jalen being coached? Jalen came into the league. One of the first things he said was, I like to be coached hard.
Oh, no way.
I get the impression that Jalen Hurts would walk off the field and benefit from someone saying, what the hell was that? What are you thinking?
Can I tell you where he'd win? Pittsburgh.
And I don't think they do that at all with him. And that's part of the reason maybe he's not, developing like we thought he would.
He'd win in Pittsburgh. I'll tell you why. Because they kicked the shit out of Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh. They Ben started that diva kind of attitude. And how many times did Bill Cowher or Mike Tomlin go, And it's Ben being Ben. He needs to toughen up. And that kind of conversation. Instead, they're enablers.
Yeah, they're all enabled. The whole organization is enablers from the top to the bottom. I mean, Jeffrey Lurie, people write about Jeffrey Lurie in this city. People talk about Jeffrey Lurie like he's the greatest thing to ever happen to Philadelphia. Why? Why? You know, we Eagles fans, who do we criticize more than any other owner in the league? Jerry Jones. How many Super Bowl rings does Jerry Jones have? And I don't give a shit when they were. How many Super Bowl rings has Jeffrey Lurie won compared to Jerry Jones? Would you trade 3 Super Bowl? How many rings does Jerry have? 3? 3 rings. We got 1. Luckily, because Doug Peterson knew how to round up a group of players.
Well, just to show you,
why do people? I don't understand the love.
Just to give you context, Jerry Jones won more Super Bowls in the time that he's owned the team since 1989 than what those guys, Tex Schramm, Tom Landry, and also Bum Bright, and also Clint Murchison, when they owned the Cowboys for 30 years. He has won more Super Bowls than those guys did. They won 2. He's won 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, and it's a representation of, you know, the soft organization has bled all the way down, not only to the players, but I even think some fans, you know, where we're now fine with like being mediocre or just being a competent franchise that wins some games every year and, you know, compete in the NFC, right? I mean that, you know, I don't know. I don't buy that. Like John tells me all the time how great of an owner Jeffrey Lurie is, and I get it. We had some shitty owners in the past in Philly, but why do we not strive for more? We don't. And nobody holds anybody accountable. Nobody holds the owner accountable. Nobody holds Howie accountable. The dude's had more draft misses. Now, granted, Howie's corrected a lot, but still, he's really never been held to the fire. I guess he got brushed to the broom closet.
But to Jeff Kerr's point, he doesn't build consistent championship. He builds consistent winners, but he doesn't build consistent championship teams. You can't keep having revolving coordinator jobs and revolving defensive football players and think year to year you're going to be in the same. Look at Kansas City, for instance. Kansas City has got a what window now? The quarterback extends it to probably 6 years? They got a 6-year window probably to try to win another couple Super Bowls because of the defense and the coaches that they have. If that were Philadelphia, it would be up and down and spotty. Why? Coordinator changes, defense, they don't believe in spending money. And you know what number one thing they don't do? They don't hit on defensive draft choices. Kansas City does.
It's true.
I mean,
it's true. And I also think you're not getting the most out of the defensive draft choices you are making. And part of that is, I guess, the modern, you know, game that we're in. But I do wonder, you know, if you had a dude who was pushing Jalen Carter to be great every single day, how good could that dude be? You know, now maybe some of that is internal and you can't coach it into him, but it does seem like everything is just so soft that, you know, you're not getting everything out of them.
This little era right now of football, we'll go from 21 until right now.
Yeah, the Hurts era. That's what this is. We're in the Hurts era right now.
Do you think this Hurts era is better than the McNabb era?
Well, McNabb era was very early for me in my life, remember? Okay. So I know obviously all the stories, but I didn't live it the same way I'm living this now, you know? I mean, I remember the Wentz era and the Vic era. I remember those. I mean, I remember McNabb. You know, I remember being a young kid at the 2004 Super Bowl at the party watching New England beat us. I remember that like it was yesterday, but I was also a young dude. It'd be tough to say that though. I mean, I know McNabb never got us over the top, but
you know, five straight NFC title games.
You know what bothers me about McNabb? The puke story. You know what it reminds me of, Sills? It reminds me of Nick Sirianni on the Super Bowl night or day when they panned to him during the national anthem, and it's still a meme. It's one of our damn emojis, and he's like bawling his eyes out, and you know everybody online is like, "Oh, how great is that?" Nick showing emotion. I'm like, dude, you got a fucking game to coach. Get your shit together, Nick. We got a game to play.
Wait. Let me ask you this. So, like, if you were getting ready to go into battle and you were going to storm the beaches at Normandy, would you want your general crying going into battle?
Yeah. Oh, good. Look, my general, he's showing emotion. Lovely. That's great. You guys got a good general there.
Hey, General Eisenhower's crying before he storms the beaches at Normandy. I don't know, man.
Look at Emrayes. Emrayes, I love you, brother. He says Nick is our fearless leader. Emrayes, you can follow Nick in the battle, brother. I'm going to choose somebody else. We need I think this could all be fixed. And honestly, I don't even think you'd have to separate I don't even think you'd have to remove Howie if you got a coach that didn't take fucking orders. Like if you got a Bill Belichick, a dude Howie, just do personnel. You're not telling me what to do. Just do personnel.
Stop. Elliot Spitzer Shore Polypark said today that Nick Sirianni is a better option at head coach in Philly than Bill Belichick would be. Do you agree with that?
No. Why would I agree with that?
Hey, you even laughed when you said no.
Well, I mean, come on. What delusion is he living in? I get he's a mouthpiece for the Eagles, but I respect Elliott because he knows how to play the media game and he knows how to get a lot of clicks. So, as a dude who obviously, works in that same industry, I can respect that about him. But
like a buffoon?
That's a brutal take. Well,
he says that there was a guy, and I was reading Crossing Broad. There was a guy that said, I'd rather ask Siri than Sirianni what I should do on 3rd and 3.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that go viral. Some dude in his car.
I'm like, that's one of the greatest goofs I've ever heard. I'd rather ask Siri than Sirianni on what to do on 3rd and 3. Holy shit. Let me ask you this one now.
We got a bunch of yes men in this organization, Sills. And I think all it would take would be one dude. If you imagine Bill here, imagine what Bill would do for Jalen. And that's why you brought it up earlier.
Brady.
You brought it up earlier with the Brady on the broadcast. He's talking about, I didn't go to work to have fucking fun. I was going to win. Is that fun? Winning championships isn't fun when you're doing it. It's hard work.
You have fun after.
Exactly. It's none of that exists anymore. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't even work with the modern player. I'm not sure.
I heard Howard even say this. He goes, yeah, you look at that dynasty that they had in New England, and it just wasn't fun. You look at what things are going on today in Kansas City, and I'm like this. So 6 Super Bowls, 9 appearances, constant winning. I don't know how you look at that and go, well, that's a horrible experience. I mean, are you crazy, dude? Are you crazy saying, well, that wasn't, dude, I'll tell you what, when you have 6 rings on you have to put the other ring on your finger, your other hand, I mean. Xander, that doesn't even make sense when you're talking shit like that. It just doesn't. All right. Has the honeymoon for Jalen Hurts finally ended?
Oh, that's long gone. That honeymoon is long gone. And I know a lot of people are still in on Hurts. I'm in on Hurts because he's going to be here for next few years at least. So buckle in, everybody, and enjoy the ride. Let's hope this guy develops. So when I'm critical of the coaching staff, that's it. That's why, right? We want this guy to develop. I think Jalen Hurts would thrive, actually. I think he would get better than you would believe. And I mean you, Big Sills, if he had a coach like Bill Belichick. Or a coach that just challenged him.
Or how about a coach
Jalen
that they stayed out of the way?
He would welcome that.
How about if a coach that they stayed out of the way?
Nick is just too buddy. He's too yes man about everything. I wonder how much they challenge her. It's like he gave him a pass for the fumble the other day. And I'm like, really?
You know how they give him a pass? Coaching. Oh, we got to coach better.
Yeah. Well,
got to coach better. He's got to play better.
I don't know. Maybe they're doing it behind closed doors, but it's tough for me to. It's tough.
Let me tell you who Jalen Hurts is right now. He's a chick you're married to. You fucking wake up and hate, and she's gonna be in your house for the next 3 years, and you can't do dick about it. You see her, she don't make you dinner. She don't do shit for you. She pisses all over you. She abuses you in public, and you fucking hate her, and you want out. And I can't do nothing about it.
I don't feel like that yet. Holy mackerel. Holy shit. You just painted a miserable picture. MG ad with
prenup Hurts.
Yeah.
Prenup
Well,
hurts, baby. Are we
look,
being
wait,
unfair
let
to
me
Nick?
answer your question though. Is the honeymoon over? You have a good pulse on this city. You've been getting a lot of views for many years. Do you feel the honeymoon
Oh,
is over?
absolutely. I think they now are here. I think they're coming to grips with it now.
Well, it's a tough thing to come to grips with.
No,
Remember,
I
this
think
team bleeds
everyone
this
is
city bleeds green. We
get
really
this,
do. We care about
the
this team.
biggest diehard Eagle fans are now pausing. Okay, they're
Well, it's tough
pausing.
to do because it makes you come to the realization maybe we're not going to be
Did you pause
anything.
on Wentz when the
Oh,
decision?
everybody did. There's still people who are in denial
Right.
about when, and I understand why. I
Yeah.
understand why, but
Right. Hey, Xander, when that whole thing with Wentz, after you saw what he did and how great he was, all of a sudden you started to see it. Everyone was like, how could I be so fucking wrong?
yeah.
I can't believe that's what you're going through now. You're going through the 3 stages of grief right
Really.
now. Okay. You're going through grief right now. And you're coming to
What are the stages of grief?
pissed off.
Let's look.
It's like pissed,
First, it's denial,
denial.
anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance.
Where are you?
I
Say those again.
am
Wait
moving.
a minute. Say those again. Give me the first one.
I am denial. I'm
Hold
past
on.
that. I'm well
Denial.
past denial.
Go ahead.
Anger.
And,
I'm past that. I'm past 3
okay.
too.
Go
I'm
ahead.
moving into the depression phase.
Depression.
Now, third is bargaining, which I guess is trying to reason, which I think many people are at that phase where it's like, well, we can still win with
This
them.
is a
And,
great
maybe we still got it if
What's
we get
the last
right
one?
things. And
acceptance.
and depression and
Yeah,
acceptance.
Eagle fans are not at acceptance yet. They're angry. They're between
There
angry.
they are. Look, there they are on the screen.
They're between angry and they're between depression. They're in those right there. They're trying to bargain. Maybe, well, if we get our players back, and this is here, watch this. Well, I'm pissed off he's not playing well. Here's bargaining. Well, when we get AJ back and Devontae back and Lane back, he'll be better.
No, you know what else bargaining is? Well, we went to the Super Bowl in 22. You know, I know we can do it. I was there I was there maybe in preseason, you know, when I'm saying he's going to be the MVP of turnovers right now, everybody. That's where we're at. It's a tough realization. And look, I've never been a Hurts hater. I've always believed in him, but you know, right now it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like he's going to elevate the team, you know, out of the and to further it, it's not even as much on Jalen as that. I don't think this organization is set up to get the most out of Jalen Hurts.
No, they're not coaching him right. This is the best senior take of all time. Nick Sirianni hands out game balls after losses.
Senor, you're right about that for sure.
That's hilarious. He hands out game balls after losses here. I've asked you this question 2 weeks in a row.
Uh-oh.
I'll ask you again.
Uh-oh.
Do you think Hurts turns this around?
Turns. Be more specific. Turns what around?
No. You're not
talking about a playoff run. You're talking about maybe winning the NFC.
He's learning how to be Big Sills really good because he's trying to make my question into his question, making me answer my own
because
question.
you got to be turn what around? Do I think he can turn it around that he's not the worst quarterback in the NFL? Yeah, I think he can turn that around. But do I think he can turn around becoming a Super Bowl contender this year? No.
So you don't think the Eagles now are a Super Bowl contender?
Right. Do they look like a Super Bowl contender to you, Sills?
No, they never did.
You always say this, Sills. We do shows every day. You know, some dude was like, "Oh, it's 4 games. You're overreacting." I'm like, I'm not overreacting. I'm reacting as the games happen. I can only call it how I see it right now. Through 4 games, this team is nowhere near a Super. This team is right now. This team is barely a playoff team. It's barely a playoff team. You show up one week, you don't show up another week. Right now, you're barely a playoff team.
Depression.
Is that what that's called, Sills? Is that what that feeling is right now, Sills?
Hey, there we go. Here, I got another one here for you. Is Kellen Moore the right OC?
Well, maybe if you had the right head coach, or maybe if you had, I keep thinking about this because I brought this up to you yesterday, and the more I said it, the more I'm thinking about it. Is it Kellen Moore? Because everybody's like, oh, this Kellen Moore offense looks the same as Nick Sirianni.
It's the
I'm like, oh,
structure.
it looked the same with Brian Johnson too.
It's the
common
structure.
denominator among all. I'm skipping, because I saw a tweet that went viral. I think it was actually from Tone. He used to be with JAKIB, and he tweeted out Brian Johnson was the scapegoat, for Nick Sirianni's crimes against Philadelphia. I think I've skipped that. I think I've skipped is it Nick, and I'm on to is this just the quarterback's limitations, and every coordinator that comes here is trying to mold it around them. Only one did it successfully. They have no interest in doing it that way for a long time. And this is what we got. Nick Sirianni's not calling the offense this year. It looks a lot like his offense.
Folks.
But is that Kellen or is that Jalen?
Folks.
I don't know. I'm just asking an honest question. I'm not even trying to pick on the dude. I'm asking an honest question.
I'm getting it. Folks, I've been telling you since 2022. It doesn't matter what coach you're doing. Jalen Hurts is electric when he's running and he's throwing the ball. When you are making him into what you're trying to now with these new coordinators, he's below average. You paid him for that electric style of play. And for whatever reason, they're trying to coach that out of him. They're not even remotely coaching that. They're not even remotely wanting him to be anything near that. He's electric. The one thing they do in Baltimore that's different than they do in Philadelphia, they at least try to stay to that formula that what makes Lamar Jackson spectacular. They're not doing that here. Dude, I told you.
I talked about this with Bob Brown. Bob's in there, yeah.
They're coaching the greatness out of Hurts.
Well, here's my pushback. Because, Bob, I went back and re-listened to our segment. I thought you were tremendous in that, Bob, by the way. We got a couple future media stars, baby.
Like it.
Coming up in their channel. So good stuff. Yeah, Bobby, I see you saying it. That was your rant from Sunday. It was. And, Bob, the only thing I'd push back and say is, while it's a perfect thinking that if they accentuated on what he did in 22, he'd be much better. Are we sure that the league wouldn't have very simply caught up to that scheme? Because it was very simple. When you look at it from a zoomed out perspective, it was much more simple. And by the way, let me show everybody this footage right here. Okay, this is Jalen Hurts back in 2021. I believe many of these highlights are from. I'm going to mute it because I don't want to get any copyright issues.
Rolling right. They figured that.
Look at how fast he is, though, Sills.
Hey, wait, go back. Can
right.
you go back?
Yeah, watch him roll right.
Okay. Watch him go. Watch his. Okay, so the league in here, okay, they fear him running. He had conviction in his style of play, and they've completely coached that out of him. I mean, dude, the guy that I'm watching play, why do you think he's getting worse and there's higher turnovers? This is not what he does well.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's fair, but you didn't answer my question. Would what he did that year work now? Still?
Yes. Well, you'd have to.
Really, you don't think Todd Bowles would look at that and laugh?
Okay. Do you think it works in Baltimore? They still do the same shit they did in 17.
Lamar Jackson's not Jalen Hurts, dude.
Jalen's a better passer.
Lamar's a better athlete.
Okay. I think they're pretty good, both of them.
Yeah, but that
style though.
That game is more built around the athleticism.
You're trying to say Jalen's not an athlete?
No, I'm saying that Lamar has held up because Jalen is not moving. He's not moving the same way.
But Lamar's doing the same shit he's done since he's been in the league. Jalen's not.
Yeah, maybe.
Why don't you find a coordinator?
I think the point of that it would work better than this is correct. But I just wonder if the league, if defensive coordinators,
they would. That rolling right thing has to end because it's too predictable now. His traits are too predictable.
Yeah, I guess people are right. I mean, Lamar's got 2 MVPs. I haven't caught up with him, but yeah, it's much different. And I got to get the dual threat shirt made.
Hey, but he's more electric in open space too. But still, the guy. What do people tell me? He squats 600 fucking pounds. It's supposed to be a big deal here. I don't know. All right. Let me say this to you about Barkley and the Eagles here. If you're going to contend, if you're going to try to win that NFC East this year, there is no question. Your best football player is not A.J. Brown. Your best football player is Saquon Barkley. If you don't have him carry you to the NFC title game, Hurts is not going to carry you. He's here. I'll give it to you. He had 1,500 yards last year, and it didn't win you the East.
Okay, you're saying different things. Best player or most valuable player?
Okay, most valuable player.
Yeah.
It's not AJ.
No, man. Look at this offense without him.
Okay.
Dude,
So here's
it's ugly.
But wait.
This offense is so ugly without AJ Brown.
But here's the
fans
problem.
We're hanging off the Ben Franklin sills.
But wait, here's the problem then. It's the play calling. And I'll show you why. They actually thought when they got down 21-7 that throwing to Paris Campbell and Dotson and that guy named Diana Ross was going to bring them back in the game when the only guy that was going to bring them back in the game was going to be Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Now, get this. You would have had time of possession. You would have at least started running the ball more. Hurts could have ran the ball as well. Barkley and Goddard were going to get you back in that game. Not the fucking throwing of the football like they did. But you know what? They panicked. And they thought Paris Campbell should have more touches than, get this, Saquon Barkley. Barkley had no touches in the second half. I mean, dude, where are you thinking that? Hey, but Sills, we're behind. Well, those other guys aren't going to get you back in it. They're not good enough.
It's just dumb. It was just a dumb game plan, that whole game.
It was a dumb game plan and a dumb approach and really awful effort.
Yeah, it was. There's no doubt. I mean, you're spot on with what you said, but yeah, I mean.
Is Vic Fangio the right coordinator for the Eagles?
Anybody that runs this scheme is going to piss off Philadelphia, dude. I mean, it's just even John said at this point, he's like, this scheme, I mean, it sucks to watch. If you're an Eagle fan, especially a long-time Eagle fan like the great Bob Brown, you're pissed off watching this.
Hey, did you hear what he said? It's up to the corners to determine whether or not to get up on the ball or not.
Is that what he said today? Because I didn't catch it.
Yeah.
I was in the car. I actually didn't even.
He said it's actually, get this. He went like, oh my God, you didn't hear this? So he goes like this. One of the guys said, hey, didn't you think that maybe those guys should have came up on the ball? You know what he said? Yeah, we communicated it with them. We were trying to communicate with them. And one guy fired back and went, so are they just not listening? And the guy goes, no, I got to coach better because it didn't translate to those guys. Those guys didn't move up. And they gave those free pitching catches underneath the Baker Mayfield. They made Baker Mayfield look like Tom Brady. Okay? And get this. He said that it's up to the corners.
They weren't ready for Baker Mayfield to throw the ball quick. They weren't ready for it at all. Baker Mayfield shredded that. The no holes defense, everybody, is retired.
It's Swiss cheese defense.
It's retired. I've actually changed the t-shirt design that we're working on and put a big block of cheese.
Look at fucking Flexing and his bullshit. They didn't have the guys prepared. So wait a minute. You knew that you play the same scheme and the same system each and every single week. They did it last week.
Agreeing with you.
Okay, they didn't have the guys prepared. My bad, Flexing. Okay, I got
he's saying the defense sucked balls.
All right, I got you. I got you, man. I got you, Flexing. Okay, my bad.
Wait, we need to think of a better name than Swiss cheese because Swiss cheese is cliche. Everybody uses Swiss. We need to think of
shit.
Huh?
How about dog shit?
Someone says all holes. No holes, all holes.
Yeah, all holes.
Polska the trucker checks in. Polska, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wait, I got to bring this up because I got to say something to Kimberly. Kimberly is a great viewer here on JAKIB, and she put something in, and you didn't react to it, and I really couldn't believe your reaction, your non-reaction.
From Ian Rappaport.
No, not this. She put in something earlier. Her uncle is Tony Sirico.
Oh,
played Paulie on fucking The Sopranos.
Paulie Walnuts.
I don't watch much. It's one of the weird quirks about me. I don't like TV. I don't really like movies. I'm not big into it. I don't know if it's my ADHD or what. I just
Kimberly,
don't like
Paulie Walnuts is your
one
guy.
of the only shows I ever liked in my life.
Sopranos.
Was The Sopranos. I love that show. And Paulie was literally one of my favorite characters. Kimberly put this on a super chat the other day. And I'm like, Sileo, you went right over that? That's crazy. So I'm happy she's in here because I wanted to say that's incredible.
Hey, Kimberly, honest to God here. So the
and rest in peace, by the way, to your uncle. He was incredible.
Kimberly. So Greg Schiano, like I told you, used to come on the program all the time. And I know him for years because he was a Miami Hurricane coach with Butch. And so James Gandolfini used to do commercials for Rutgers football. So James Gandolfini came on my program down in Tampa, and he would come on my program. Let me think. Gandolfini, Xander, was on my program probably 3 times.
Yeah, that's incredible. I would love to go and find those interviews.
Yeah, no, you know what happens when you get fired? They blow them up and they blow you out.
They blow them off. Something I was plugging yesterday from your great show. When you had on Pete Rose. You had one of the last interviews with Pete Rose ever.
Yep.
That was an incredible interview. So, rest in peace, obviously, to Pete Rose. So make sure you go check that out. But anyway, Kimberly, pretty incredible.
Give me walnuts.
Yeah.
Hey, so Kimberly, so James Gandolfini got David Chase. And I said, well, shit, if you put Saragusa's fat ass on as a guy, you could put my ass on. Tony Saragusa, who I know from Pitt. He was on as a bodyguard. He got blown up. I go, I don't give a shit if you kill me, shoot me in the back of the head. I'm good with it. I'm Italian. Hey, you either go feet up or feet up.
Yeah, right.
Down. It's all good. I'm ready to roll. And so he goes, okay. Sure enough, man, I go up for a screen test. I get it. I'm doing it. They didn't have the final season. And I'm like, shit. So Greg Schiano's like, you would have been on Sopranos. So every time, I don't even remember what we were going to call myself. Something like Six Fingers Luigi or some shit. I forget what the fuck it was going to be called. It's
a great show, Sills.
Oh,
you would have been great in that show. Classic Big Sills.
Oh my God. Because I was like, and I go, Saragusa got on. I was like, shit, man, you got to get me on. So yeah, no, I used to get Gandolfini on the program.
That's pretty cool though. That Kimberly's uncle is Tony Sirica, dude.
She should know then that James Gandolfini was a really great guy, man. I mean, I enjoyed talking to him. He's like massive college football fan, Xander. Massive college football fan. He'd love to see what's going on with Greg now, with Rutgers now. So couple last ones here for you. We'll get all the super chats here in a minute.
We're going to hit all supers. Thanks, everybody. Kimberly, we'll make sure we read yours as well. I'll get back to it.
Okay. What do they have to work on?
How about the defense?
In the bye week, give me 3 priorities.
See, as worried as I am about Jalen Hurts, this is the reality of the offense. The offense will get better because A.J. Brown's going to come back and Devontae Smith's going to come back and Lane Johnson's going to come back. So it might mask some of our bigger problems.
It will.
But in the near term, the offense will get better. That's a 100% guarantee. That defense, who was out for that defense that they played? Did they have any injuries? Because I keep hearing that excuse for the offense. What's the excuse for the defense? Johns keeps telling me it was a weather game. I'm like, really? Is that where we've devolved? They had a game in Tampa in late September, and they just get a pass. We got 2 passes. We got 4 games, and we got 2 passes. We got the field in Brazil and the weather in Tampa. How about you just fucking show up? You're professionals. Show up. So my concern is the defense. But I'll ask you, national champion defensive lineman, 1987, played at a high level. How do they fix the defense? Nobody was out. Nobody's coming back.
5 front. Got to outnumber them again, like you did in New Orleans.
And you're relying on that defensive secondary to step up and be better.
I think that's the better part of your team is your secondary. Your more skilled guys are back there. Okay? I mean, your linebacking core is not very good. I think you got to outnumber them again. This is a schematic thing here, man. Now that you don't have the players, you have to come up with a scheme. Unless Howie's going to go out and sign some type of Linval Joseph or find some sort of edge rusher. You're where you are, dude. You're not. This isn't going to be like you're on the island of misfit toys right now on defense, and you got to make that Christmas look good, dog.
The Island of Misfit Toys now costs $17 million and change a year. Are you kidding me?
And $8 million in a guy that Vic Fangio says needs to tackle better and he needs to read his playbook more.
Who's that?
It's Gardner Johnson.
Yeah, Gardner Johnson. Yeah. Yeah, he's
read your playbook. Read your playbook and tackle better.
I get why some fans like him because he's that big in-your-face dude, and I'm not giving Slay a pass for shitting on the dude. He's a teammate, but CJ Gardner Johnson has been really bad this year. If you watch the tape, I mean, he had a couple big hits and everything, but he's been getting destroyed. And I think he's given up a touchdown in 3 or 4 games. I mean, I know he gave up the one to Mike Evans. I know he got burned. Who's the dude he got burned to in Atlanta? Was it Darnell Mooney?
Yeah.
Just absolutely shredded them. Yeah, so he's been picked on a couple times. He's got to be better, no doubt.
Hey, Sue and Kimberly, I'll always do this to you. Hey, M. Reyes, go make me a fucking sandwich. How you doing? Hey, as a matter of fact, I said that to Aaron Andrews once. So, I mean, it got me a little
I remember that. They wrote the art. They wrote it. People still send me those articles.
Hey, M. Reyes, go make me a sandwich. No, I said you look better popping out of a cake.
The Fire Sileo emails come daily with all those articles. I'm like, guys, you think I haven't read the fucking articles? Okay. You think I've never seen them before, everybody?
Hey, Aaron, you look better popping out of a cake than you do on the sidelines.
All right, Sills, tone it down.
Hit that like button, son of a bees. How you doing? All right, last one here for you. Are we being unfair to Nick?
No. Now, I don't think it's all created by Nick, but that doesn't mean that we should be soft on him. I mean, I think we should. To Angelo's point, this is where you want a media group that's not afraid to criticize because it holds the right people's feet to the fire. You know, we can all rip on Nick all we want, and I get it. It's easy to do. The dude gives us more ammo than any coach in the league, for crying out loud. He gives ammo to the rest of the league. That's why everybody hates the dude, because he's a goof.
Shit, I love him.
So he get content machine for big sales, but that doesn't give him a pass. You know, it doesn't give him a pass. But he is the lightning rod. You know, we got to be more critical of the people who made this setup, because it's not a setup that will work, I think, on an NFL team. And it's the dudes above Nick. You know, it's not just Nick. And, you know, I do think John's right. They've almost set him up as like Roger Goodell, dude. He just said every week he just takes bullet after bullet after bullet. And I'm wondering, you know, M. Reyes, I love you, man, but you're in Delulu land right now with this football team. Winningest coach, never missed playoffs. We don't have a losing record, but you want him fired. First off, I didn't say I want him fired. I think the team has set him up for failure. M. Reyes, he's won 3 of his last 13 games. How long are you going to hold on to he won in 22? How long, M. Reyes?
M. Reyes would rather have him than Doug Peterson as your coach.
I mean, what is he, 3-10 in the last 13 games?
And Doug's 0-4 right now, and I'd still take Doug.
Yeah, Doug's about to get canned. Doug needs to move on from
Okay. How many coaches have gone to Jacksonville and turned it around?
Yeah,
that'd be 0.
It's true. It's true.
Okay. Hey,
it's
Xander,
true.
before you go, I want to. Okay, wait. I want to give you my top 10 quarterbacks. Okay.
Okay. I'm ready for him. I got time today, Big Sil.
Then we'll do the super chats.
I got time today, baby.
Number 10, James Jones. You in here? The greatness of the rookie and the best quarterback in the NFC East, Jaden Daniels. And the first place, Washington Commanders. You're welcome. Number 9. This gives all Philadelphia Eagle people hope when I say this guy's name. Geno Smith, Seattle Seahawks.
I can already tell we've already gotten to a point in the list. Jalen Hurts will not be on this list, everybody.
Number 8, historic last night. And a man who might be the most accomplished outside of Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff. I can't stand the guy.
18 of 18 last night. Good performance.
I know, right? Number 7, the man who has 2 most valuable player awards and might have the best team in the AFC, even though they're 2-2. Lamar Jackson.
Pretty low for Lamar.
Yeah, because you're 2-2.
Yeah, he struggled.
Number 6, the second best quarterback in the National Football League, Josh Allen.
Hey, you have him at where?
6. You can't get blown out like that. Can't get blown out like that, man. You can't get 35-10, get blown out by the Ravens like that. You just can't.
All right,
I think
still put
winning.
him.
Number 5, the man who has the pink slip on Mr. Hurts and owns him. Baker, Reclamation Project Mayfield at number 5. Number 4. This dude, I couldn't have been more wrong about an Ohio State quarterback, and I'll tell you, they'll never have another one for another 200 years. CJ Stroud, Houston Texans. This is going to be I can't believe these words are going to come out of my mouth here. Number 3, from USC, Sam Darnold, Minnesota Vikings, undefeated.
He's been great. He has been great.
Number 2, man that everyone in Philly fights me on. Brock Purdy, number 2, San Francisco 49ers.
I ain't disputing that one. Brock Purdy's playing lights out. So for everybody who said he needs everybody around him, I don't know, man. Looks like Jalen Hurts. That's more true for Jalen than it is for Brock.
Number 1, tell you, knock the king off, and you beat the king. The king's Mahomes. I don't care how he's playing.
No doubt. What's his name? My man Lucius. He sent me this graphic last night on Twitter of like the comparison with Hurts and Mahomes' numbers this year. I'm like,
I saw you respond.
You think I give a fuck that Hurts' numbers are close to that dude's coming off 2 straight Super Bowls after losing his best receiver. This is not the same. This is not the same conversation.
Hey, I don't have Hurts or Rodgers.
Pretty good list.
I don't have Burrow on there. I don't have any of them.
Yeah, well, Burrow's been bad, so I thought you were fair on that. I think Rodgers has probably been top. He's been streaky a little bit.
But I think the last 2 weeks, Daniels has outplayed him. I think, I think he's outplayed him. Hey, dude, Geno's 3-1.
I think Jaden Daniels has been better than 10th overall right now. Now it's early. I get it. You're not going to grant the guy.
How about Mayfield and Darnold on that list?
I have a problem with you having Mayfield above Allen. Like Josh Allen had one bad game. He also had like a couple historic games before that. The dude was absolutely on fire.
Yeah, he beat Stiffs. Got into a game against a good team, got rolled.
That's true. All right, I like that. I like that criticism. That's fair of you. I like that criticism.
Yeah, and I love the guy. You know that. He got into a game.
I know, but even when he sucks, he still makes some throws.
I know.
Oh like the other night, the throw he's rolling out, he was almost out of bounds.
God,
I'm like, oh my crap, this dude is unbelievable.
God, he's so amazing.
James Jones, James, your son looks good. He says, Xander, you got anything bad to say about my son?
Hey,
he's looking good, brother.
Hey, James, you should hang with Big Sills. Big Sills picked your Commanders to win the East. How you doing? How's that looking?
James told you were crazy.
Yeah. He goes, okay, Sills. I think
that's right. You can't pick on James too much because they've beaten them to a pulp in terms of getting fired up for his team. So maybe it just doesn't. He's not ready to believe yet that he might have a solid football team.
Sileo, you really think you're gonna win the East? Yeah. I do. How you doing? All right, let's get to these super chats.
Start with my man Brian.
Okay, Jalen Hurts probably a bottom 5 QB right now. 11 turnovers, noteworthy plays, and no one else had more than 8. One Brito F none is next to William Levis, the quarterback.
Breed of none. He's saying breed of none because Jalen calls him the breed of one. Yeah, it's weird if you look at some of the comparisons. Breed of none. Breed of one is Jalen. No, and audience of one was Carson Wentz's. The historic drop off in production. These two dudes are they're like ghosts. It's like a white version and a black version. It's fucking crazy.
Hey,
Jalen's going the wrong way.
Hey, Brian, it's the breed of none, not one.
Yeah, really.
Let's go to another one here, Xander. Breed of one. How you doing, kid? How you doing? Breed of none. Come on, dog. Where are we going here, man? Hit that like button, Freakazoids. I appreciate you guys today. You guys were great yesterday as well. Ton of super chats. I know we missed a bunch of them.
Oh, wait.
Here.
Let me. That's right. I'm wrong.
Yeah, let's get to these guys. Sills, Kelsey Cox got to be looking at this shit show. Like, we're glad
that's why they both. I think that's why they rolled out, man.
Sirianni's running it into the ground. Justo, absolutely. Hey, I'll tell you this. Who do they miss more, Kelsey or Cox?
Fletcher.
Yeah, Fletcher.
Kelsey was, obviously a big part of the team. That's not a knock on Kelsey at all, but those defensive linemen, man, they're undisciplined.
By the way, I agree with some people that took a shit on his outfit. He did look like he was going to like a PTA meeting the last time he was on ESPN. I mean, come on, dog. Let's go here, man. You're making $100 million with your podcast now. Come on. I mean, a little bit better of a dinner jacket. I don't even mind the guinea outfit. I like it. But hey,
was you talking about last night? I didn't even see what he wore last night.
Yeah. He had like he was going to a PTA meeting on. He had like a jacket and a t-shirt, and I was going like, this guy going to like a community outing? Come on, dog. You got $100 million. Act like it. You know what I mean? And then I have to call him out on his bullshit. It's okay, Jace. Shut up, Sills. Stop crying. Stop crying, Flex. Flex is always crying. I've been hearing from Ian Rappaport, Lombardi, and they predict Belichick will be here. I'm starting to think front office creating, what's that, a smoke screen? Getting us fans riled up so we turn on Nick. Dude, Kimberly, I don't believe that.
I don't know, man. Kimberly might be on to something.
But wait a minute, Kimberly. So you think they're going to have a guy walk into an office and have another situation where Doug Peters is telling them to go fuck themselves?
So this is the truth about the Eagles front office, though. They will do anything to make it look like it's everybody but them. So if they are thinking about moving on from Nick Sirianni right now, I would not put it past them to do everything they can to make him look like the ultimate asshole.
Oh, they will.
So when they fire him, it doesn't look so bad. That's how they think. Believe me, that's how they think.
Agreed. But what's more important to them? Control or winning?
Perception and control.
Okay, perception and control. You surrender that with Belichick, don't you?
You would, for sure.
Okay.
Unless, I don't know, they're buddy-buddy with Belichick.
Do you know the two things that you get, what Kimberly says here? You know the two things you get? You get a coach that's going to school him like he schooled Brady, and you're going to get a guy who's going to fix the defense overnight. Overnight. Because he's going to look at Bryce Huff and go, I don't think so.
Right.
Okay? He's going to look at Nolan Smith going, your special teams.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
How lovely is that to hear, Eagle fans? Our first-round edge rushers especially.
Wait. You want to hear what he had a rule? Nobody had their phones in Boston at the complex. You left your phones at the front. Nobody text. If you had a problem, you went to their face and said it. There were no social. You notice Brady didn't have any social media his entire time in New England? Hey, do you notice Peyton Manning didn't have any social media at all?
Tom had it late in his career, but you're right. I mean, they kept that. They kept a lot of that out. But
Manning never had it because you know why? He was not involved. Peyton Manning still doesn't.
Yeah, it's a different game now. It's part of what we talked about at the beginning of this interview, that it really matters, nowadays, and there's a way to play it, and Slay obviously needs to learn that as well. Next super chat, Mad Bird. Appreciate it, Mad.
Jalen needs to adapt. I thought running RPOs would help, but he's not even making the right read. He's not any longer in the RPO.
That's why I said about the Bob Brown point.
His teams aren't afraid of it because I don't think they run it consistently enough either.
Yeah, but it doesn't. It's this weird thing, Sills, where 2022 we watched Jalen. It seemed like every decision he made that year was correct. Now it's like every decision he makes is wrong. It's been a weird turn. I don't know. I can't pinpoint what it is, but great super chat, Mad Bird. Appreciate that. Jacob Dean.
Yeah, so hey, I heard Hutchinson was pissed on a play because Geno faked him out of a sack. He was so pissed. We need that.
Yeah, we got no fire like that, Jacob. Yeah. None.
Yep. Instead, we got a guy that's asking Micah Parsons what size shoe he has, how big his foot is. Hey, how big's your foot, Micah? Man, you're a big fella.
I don't get into those conversations.
Hey, no, I'm with you.
Save them for when I'm off the show. All right.
Hey,
Thank
I
you.
thought for sure he was going to ask him, "Do you like a firm mattress, the soft one, soft pillows?" I mean, Jesus, it was very unbecoming of a guy with a man card, or I thought.
Yeah, really.
I mean, hey, that's like, what's his name, Prince? And he ain't in here today. Prince asking me, "Hey, man, hey, Stills, how tall are you?" Hey, Prince, shut up.
22 is long gone, everybody.
It is.
Howie knows he'll end up in the broom closet again. Remember Xander perception. It's true. That's why they're never. That's why Howie, or that's why Belichick will never be.
Hey,
here.
Kimberly. Hey, Howie, go make me a sandwich.
Eagles are rainbow warriors. Nice, Christopher Hand. That's good.
I have no idea what that means. All right, Xander.
Wait, we got more. We got more.
Oh, we got more. Let's go.
Yeah,
okay.
supers were rolling in, man. We got to get to them.
Okay, Z, you're right. When we're losing, I don't want to see you having fun on socials. I'm 28, and when I have business, I handle it. Then enjoy socials.
That sucks, and it's one thing to just have fun on socials. It's another thing to just go on there and start poking fun at your own teammate. With the enemy, with the NFC East enemy.
This guy won't even let me put my cowboy helmet up. I had to take it down. He goes,
even you knew that was bad. Something was every time you put that thing up, the internet was going. That thing was bad. That thing had the Maloik on the show.
Wait. I think
Howie bugged that helmet. You might want to get that thing out of your house. Actually,
I think he did that on purpose. Hey,
go put that in the Hummer, Big Sills.
Connection here.
Go put that in the Hummer. You might want to get that out of the house.
There's something wrong with the connection, Sills. The helmet went away and it was all right. I don't know what happened.
Trucker Beans checking in. What's up, Trucker?
Sills, if we win the Super Bowl in 22, we wouldn't care about last season.
That was the first one.
I think losing killed the it's a great point because you know what? I said this about the Rams. If you have 3 shitty years of the Rams and you have 1 Super Bowl, I'll take that any day. I'll take that any day, dude.
Last one.
Any day. Brian, man, he's one pissed off dude. He's looking to face punch somebody.
Brian is ready. Brian was putting some all-time super chats.
Brian's ready to face punch somebody's ass right now, man. I mean, I'll tell you what, right now, hey, Brian, I bet you get all liquored up, man. You're one of them guys looking to face punch someone's ass after an Eagle loss.
Is pissed, man.
Hey, you watch this. He's in a bar after a loss. Brian's going to beat someone's ass. Hey, we lost. You laughing over there? I don't know, Brian. I don't know, man. I'll tell you why the RPO doesn't work. Jalen never hands it off. Easy choice for the conflict guy. Hurts awoke Danny Dimes.
Brian is on one. Brian is going
Look at Brian. I'm going to fight Jalen if he don't turn this shit.
That's what he put that in earlier. It was classic. Brian is on fire.
Brian's like this, man. If you don't turn this shit around, I'm going to fight you.
Brian's liquored up and he's hating the team. M. Reyes is liquored up too, except he's still got 14-3. M. Reyes is holding out hope.
Hey,
it's the tale of 2 Eagle fans.
Watch this. Here's my impression of Brian. I'm going to fight that motherfucker, man. Hold on. Hey, Brian, watch me here.
That's the perfect impression. I'm a Philly fan. I get it. I believe it.
I'm going to fight that motherfucker. If he don't turn this shit around, I'll swear to you, I'm going to fight that motherfucker.
Oh, man. It's true, Big Stills.
Oh, man.
Brian knows it. Brian's like, shit, man. They got me nailed down. Perfect. They got me down to a science right now.
Very good stuff. Please hit the like button. We appreciate it. Where are we in that bitch right now, man? Guys,
189. They're not happy with the commentary today. And we just lost one to 188. Somebody has rescinded the like. Might have been M. Reyes.
Hey, man, your team. Okay.
Look at Akbar. Akbar, dude. Akbar is going to be a star. I'm telling you now.
Hey, Akbar goes, Sills, you've been hanging with the Whoa, wait a minute, Akbar. Let me hook you up on something. Italian guys ain't white. Okay? Italian guys ain't white guys. Just remember that. Hey, why does it look like a I'm gonna fight that motherfucker, man. If that motherfucker don't get those turnovers turned around, I'm gonna whip his ass, and then I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a shot of whiskey. that motherfucker better get it done, or I'll show you. I'm gonna be in his ass, and I'm gonna be on Xander's show going, I told you I kicked his ass. I'm gonna wait outside the bus.
Akbar is the best part of the post-game show for me right now. Every time I go, I'm waiting for Akbar. I'm like, what's Akbar going to tell me today? Because he came on spitting fire right from a Philly, where I think he lives in Philly. He must live in Philly. He sounds to me, he's a MO Philly guy. I love talking to Akbar. And by the way, Akbar, your segment blew up this week, dude. You're a star. So great stuff from Akbar.
You guys are crazy great. Xander, great stuff. By the way, when we come back out of the timeout, my top 10 NFL teams. Can't think the Eagles are on it. Maybe, I don't know. And also the MVP, which I have a vote, and I could tell you who's not on that fucking list.
I need a bum juice shirt. So did you hear this interview?
No.
Dude, you need to hear. I need to send you this interview tonight so you can hear Akbar come. He sounds like the Akbar version of Big Sills. He comes on, he goes, bum juice. That's what Jalen Hurts is, bum juice. And I'm sitting there rolling, laughing, man. Akbar was on fire.
Hey, I need
the t-shirt made.
What's this supposed to imply, Bob? What are you saying? That the Southern Times, because it's the most conquered continent on the planet?
You know, on my mother's side, so my grandparents are 100% Italian. They were from Parma.
Yeah, because you always remember, like Jerome Brown said about Big Sills, white guys don't run that fast. White guys don't run that fast.
Wait, let me answer Carlos. Let me answer Carlos real quick. Carlos is my boy. He says, hey, Dan and Zan, what do y'all think about my Volunteers this year? Are we contenders, and do y'all like the QB? They're a solid team, Carlos. I'll tell you this, though, on the way out, Carlos. Roll Tide, baby. And that's for Kimberly, too, who keeps tweeting at me in her Georgia outfit. We whooped up on Georgia this weekend, Kimberly. So
big
Roll Tide, Carlos.
Hey, that was a big win for that coach, man.
Who? For Kalen, yeah, for DeBoer.
Yeah, that was a big win for them.
Still, I don't know, man. Look, I know he won. It's great he won, and Alabama Nation's drinking the Kool-Aid from him. I'm not there yet. I still look at him. I listen to some of his interviews, and I'm just like, I don't see it yet. I hope he can win, but I'm so used to Nick Saban, but
hey,
I don't know yet. But look, you're right. That's a signature win for a first-year coach in an SEC school.
Hey, Xander, who has a tougher fan base? Alabama Crimson Tide folks or the Eagles?
Eagles. Stop.
Oh,
yeah.
They poisoned people down in Alabama. They killed a goddamn tree. The Auburn guy. The Auburn guy, the damn tree got killed down there when Alabama guy.
I remember that big old.
They killed that 200-year-old tree in the middle of the quad there in Auburn.
Oh my God! I remember
you beat my goddamn.
Nah,
you beat my god.
Eagles. I really mean Eagles Nation they're the best fans in sports. I mean, we talked to literally the greatest, and I'm not just talking about Philly fans.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Eagles fans.
Yep.
People who are Eagles fans truly bleed green, and that's why they care so much, and that's why our shows, do so well, because everybody really, cares and, puts great takes in and gives a shit. Like the Sixers, they wouldn't be fun to cover. The Sixers wouldn't be fun to cover. The Phillies are fun at times, but not. We used to be a baseball town.
The only other team that I would love to cover in Philly would be the Flyers.
I would love to. At times, you love to cover the Phillies. I didn't grow up a Flyers fan at all. Because I played hockey when I was a kid, and my favorite goalie was Martin Brodeur, and he was a Devil, obviously.
Yeah,
and he was my favorite. I would love to find a picture of me playing as a kid. I had the full Brodeur.
Dude, Bernie Perrant follows me on Twitter.
Painted mask. Actually, if you want to see, I got my custom goalie helmet right there from high school. It's really dope.
Hey, I have Bernie Perrant that follows me, and like I told you, Ed Schneider used to, every time that the Flyers would come down to Tampa, he'd come on my program. Bobby Clark would come on, and fuck Bobby Clark. I don't think he really liked the fact that I liked Lindros. I liked Lindros a lot.
Look at the way he's calling me a turncoat. I love
it. Why? Because you're a Devil fan?
I'm not a Devil fan. I was a Brodeur fan, but. No, I grew up. So I grew up.
Brodeur was great, but he wasn't better than Wah.
Yes, he was. Stop.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't better than Hasek either.
It's different era.
Hashik.
Wait, I want to show the mask. Let me show my mask.
Hashik and Wah.
People will like the mask.
Then Brodeur. By the way,
People will like the mask. It's in a nice box.
You know what? I got a Scott Stevens puck back here somewhere. I love Scott Stevens. Bobby Clark hated Eric Lindros.
Look at the. Oh, I got to turn off my virtual background. Let me turn that off to none. And let me make myself full screen. This is the Xander Kraus show now. Ain't no big sills in here anymore. Let me show this sucker. Let me show this badass off. Oh, you can't see it. So
wow.
On the front. I got the SJP. That's where I played. I got the big gold cross on the top.
That's dope, dude. Who did that for you?
This is so dope.
Dude, who did that for you?
Got the Philly skyline on there. You see that?
Who did that for you?
I had a custom painter. Frank Drummond did it. His name is. But it says Zan on the front. This is dope.
That is so great.
I love this mask. I love this. It's right in my office. I keep it right there.
That is so great.
Oh, so dope.
Xander. I love that, man.
Really dope.
Holy cow, man. I love that. Hey, I've got so many pucks. I got so many pucks around here. I just found one right. I got another one somewhere too. But Xander, check this out. So get this puck. This is Dave Anderchuk.
Yeah, great stuff right there. What team was that? 2001? Was that like Vinny LeCavalier?
Yeah. And Marty St. Louis.
Yeah.
That was this is Tortorella's team.
Yeah.
This is John Tortorella's.
Yep. I met Torts. I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, I'm not. Torts is dope. Torts is a dope dude. I met him.
You should have told him, man. Me and him are boys.
Yeah, I would have. If I knew you were boys with them, because I would have loved to show.
Yeah. No, man. Me and John Tortorella, absolutely dear friends. And I get him very much. I'm a very big fan of John Tortorella. Xander, absolutely great stuff, dude. I mean, tomorrow we're going to have Merrill Reese on. We're going to have, remember Doc Walker, part of the Washington Commander broadcast team. He also has 3 Super Bowl rings. We'll talk. Hey, James Jones, Doc Walker's coming on tomorrow. The best team.
I love Doc Walker.
Yeah.
I love when you interview Doc Walker. That dude is so good.
And by the way,
guy, right?
Yep, best team in the NFC East will be on.
I'm Reyes. If I was smart enough to go to Notre Dame, I probably would have went there, but I would never have been smart enough to go there. It's funny because my brother's like the genius of the family, and I sit here and talk about sports with you guys.
So this guy had me go there. God, what was his name? He was an awful coach. Jerry something. And he had me go there, and they recruited me to play linebacker. So I go there. I went to Catholic high school, obviously. And he goes, jump up and touch the rim. Now, I could back in the day, I could dunk a Nerf ball. I couldn't dunk a basketball, but I could dunk a Nerf ball. And I'm sitting there going like this. And I go like this, and I go, I'm not fucking jumping up there for this. And he goes, and then plus he goes, well, when do you think you'll play here at Notre Dame? I go, right away. He goes, well, most people when they come here don't play. Oh, Jerry Fouts, that's his name. And he goes like this. He goes, well, you won't play probably until you're a senior. And I went, so I go to Miami. We beat them 58-7. His last game, I'm running off the field going, hey, motherfucker, you told me I wasn't going to play. Well, here I am starting. How you doing? And Aaron Parsegian and all them guys were so mad at us because we had worked them over. I told you a little bit of this. I got home to my nuns. How could you beat Notre Dame? I go, well, touchdown Jesus took a knee. I mean, hey, that guy looked at me and I go, hey. He looks over at me and he turned away and I go, you told me I wasn't going to play. I just kicked your fucking ass up and down the field for 60 minutes. Great hey, what, you think because I talk shit now that I wasn't talking shit? I was talking more shit back then. Your boy Mike Messinelli. Is it Messinelli? It's probably Messinelli. Wrote a book about us, me and Jerome, how much of an assholes we were. Anyway, yeah. Xander, great stuff, bro. Tomorrow, Birds 365. Absolutely sensational. Hit the like button. Thank you, Xander.
Appreciate it, Big Sales. Appreciate everybody in the chat. And then also a big shout out to, real quick, I just want to do this for our new members, man. Sox becomes a member today. You guys have been killing it, man. Members are one of the best ways to support us. Appreciate to 2 new members in Eagles 1971. Thank you both for becoming a member, and all you guys for support. And Big Cells, I'm going to drop off. I think you got a super chat we missed, so I want you to hit it. All right, brother?
You got it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much here, man. Make sure we get to that super chat there, man. Here we go. What quarterbacks do you guys think could succeed tomorrow on this Eagles team? I watched offense for 2 years. It just looks discombobulated. There's no purpose to what they're doing and the defense. That's a hard question because I tell you what, the guys that are in college right now, I mean, Shedeur Sanders, I'm not sold on. The kid Cam Ward at Miami looks awful good. Man, I like him. But remember something, too. Jake Gillespie, remember, you're stuck with this for 3 years, dude. You're stuck with this. Like I told you, it's like an old nag. You can't get rid of this chick. You know, the chick that knocks on your door at 3:30? You know, and she, hey, you home? No. No. I mean, Arch Manning, I really like him. I think he looks good at Texas. I don't like Quinn Ewers. And I don't like the guy Beck at Georgia. So I don't know. I mean, but then again, Jaden Daniels looks awful good right now. Johnny. Hi, Dan. No, I'm not home. Yeah, you're not in there? No. Crowley, I think Beck, I think he looks okay. Okay, I think he looks okay. The kid from Tennessee, I really like. I do. I like Tennessee. I think Xander, is Tennessee is Tennessee a contender? Yeah. QB's in the league, not many. I'll tell you one thing for sure. You're saying it right. There's not a lot of good quarterback play so far. The guy who's playing hey, Gillespie, the guy who's playing the best quarterback right now is the guy in Minnesota. Who would have thought that? The guy in Minnesota is playing the best football. And then now you got Jaden Daniels. So when we come back out of the timeout, my top 10 teams, MVP candidates, see what we got here. Sills, I don't see why we don't run the ball when we're paying Jurgens, Mulata, Dickerson, and Barkley. Good question. Is it the owner? It's a great question. I thought Hurts was drafted as a backup. He was. That guy was never drafted in Philly to be a starting quarterback. Sills, you think the Dolphins are going to start trading players? Kyle, I would trade Tyreek Hill for draft choices. What's the point of having him on the team? I got an idea for you. Coaching, Sills. Nobody got the best out of Darnold. Could be. How about this one? Why don't you trade AJ for draft picks if your quarterback shits the bed at the end of the year? Try to get yourself some first-round picks for a quarterback. Hurts earned a starting job? No, he didn't. He was given it. No, he didn't. Nate Sudfeld did. Jalen will turn it around. Needs time. New playbook. Here we go again, Michael. Hurts be giving me Wentz vibes. Ooh! I still haven't bought his jersey yet. Hey, can I make a suggestion to you? If you're going to buy a Hurts jersey, and from now on, this is what I suggest with the guys at JAKIB when it comes to Eagle jerseys. You ready? Make sure that the back with the name, you could Velcro that thing off. And you could take the number off. Because you're going to have some changes if this thing don't go well. At Velcro night. Right? Have Velcro night. Yeah, the only way to get out of the Wentz or the Hurts deal is to trade AJ. get draft picks. Someone would give you first rounders for him. You got nothing else to trade. Who are you going to trade? Nobody's going to give you a 1 for Landon. He's 35. Or not Landon for Lane. He's 35. If I were the Dolphins, I would trade Tyreek Hill. Seals, the best asset this defense has is Barkley in time of possession. Run the ball and keep our D on the bench. They'll have gas in the tank, and there are fewer bites on the apple. Correct. Absolutely. It's a great take. That's not what they did. They thought on Sunday, think about this, Bob. They thought on Sunday that the best remedy was to throw to Paris Campbell and little Timmy Ross or whatever his name. I don't really care what his name is. Or Dotson. These guys are bums. Dolphins should trade Tyreek Hill for more compensation. Should trade him back. Dolphins should trade back Tyreek Hill. Who, to KC, for more compensation than they gave up? Here, you get this. Look at this guy. So Kansas City traded Tyreek Hill for first-round picks that built their defense, and they're winning Super Bowls. And this guy says that's an idiotic take. I see. Worked in KC. Obviously wouldn't work according to you, Wayne. In Philly. Only works in KC, though, right? They traded Tyreek Hill away, and they're better. Best player in the NFL, according to NFL.com. Oh, my bad. I apologize, Wayne. I was talking about throwing the ball, Dan. Oh, you're dead on then. I didn't get it. Ooh. Did you got me? Great, Sales. You want to give Howie picks? He stinks. Touche. Touche. Touche, man. Trade A.J. Brown to Vegas. What? Not yet. Not yet. I don't really mean that yet. But if I were the Dolphins, I would. You're not going to win anything with the Tua. He's not going to stand up straight. He's just not. Okay? He's not. Dan, the Eagles would be real contenders with Cam Ward. Man, hey, you want to hear something crazy about him? What they're telling me, Mario Cristobal's telling me? That guy didn't have one Division I offer. He had to go to Division AA, 1AA. And nobody gave him a scholarship. Then he went to Washington State. Best thing he did was get out of the draft and go into the portal. Because look at him. I think he's better than Shedeur Sanders. Still's honest question. Would you trade AJ or Smitty? AJ. Smitty, but he's not a true number one. I don't need to win I can win a Super Bowl without a true number one. I don't need a true number one. True number ones don't win Super Bowls. They don't. Tyreek Hill's not winning a Super Bowl in Miami or anywhere else he's traded. Making $35 million. It's not happening. The only place he'll win a Super Bowl is if he gets traded to Washington, where that guy Jaden Daniels is on a rookie contract. Okay? That's what you do. Like I'll tell you what. I said that Jefferson would never win a Super Bowl in Minnesota. I don't know. I'm not sold that Minnesota's a Super Bowl contender, but they're a playoff contender for sure. They are a playoff contender. Trade Hurts as soon as possible. Turnovers machine. Can't read defenses. Devontae's better off playing with Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, but he's only got a year, 49er. If you're Devontae Smith and you want it out of Philly, you want to go to CJ Stroud or up in Green Bay, play for a guy like that. Or maybe even on the other side of Kyler Murray. Are you guys really thinking about trading and wanting, not that you can, but just for the sake of the argument here, are you really thinking already that Hurts is showing you it's time to move off him? I got my Hurts jersey at the Salvation Army. Wow. Xander, this thing's going south quick. Jalen will turn it around. Needs time, new playbook. Is this thing going south quick? So why didn't Hurts take the route like Mahomes did with his contract? Or was it Howie trying to be labeled as a hero? Hey, do you want to hear something fucking crazy? Mahomes is the 12th highest paid quarterback in the league now. He's not even top 10. I mean, he's not top 10. Fucking loser talk about firing or trading anyone this early. Get the fuck out of here. Another dumbass M. Reyes. That guy, I'll tell you what, you want to count on a shit take? Make sure you go to M. Dickhead. He'll give you a shit take every day. Fickle fans are trash. No, fans who expect greatness are not trash. You're the one that sits around going, he'll be better. He'll be better. When I've been saying it for 4 years, he won't be. That's why I'm not surprised. Hey, I'm Reyes. Go make me a sandwich. I'm not ever going to say that to Sue or Kimberly. I'm going to start saying it to some of you dudes. Go make me a sandwich. Oh, man. Sills, if I were Lori, I'd call Tepper in Carolina and trade Howie to build his franchise. Howie is a Tepper type of guy. Splash with free agent moves and trades. How you doing? I like it. You like me too much, Sills? I do, actually. I do. Hey, the only women that show up every day for the Big Sills show, National Football Show, are my wife, Sue, and Kimberly, and my aunt. How you doing? How you doing? It's the same BS no matter what coaches we have. Someone is pulling the puppet strings, and I'm tired of it. PJ, don't get tired of it. Like Xander says, this is standard operating procedure, my friend. Standard operating procedure. Sue, my darling. Seals, we paid $250 million for a pile of shit. He's not a pile of shit. This is turning south quick. These. Oh, Barb, apologize, Barb. Apologize, Barb. Apologize. Y'all want Steichen. Well, he don't want us. We offered him head coaching money. No, you fucking didn't. What a stupid lie. This guy's trying to tell you that the $9 million he's making right now in Indianapolis, that the Philadelphia Eagles offered him $9 million to run an RPO in Philly. What a jackass. 14-3. Offered him $9 million. Dude, Steve Spagnuolo doesn't make $9 million. Holy cow. What a toolbox. If Hurts throws another turnover after this bye, I'm hanging up his jersey. The bleacher closet. Yeah. Hey, by the way, this is a great take by Senor here. Senor's made a great take. Unfortunately, M. Reyes has been dumb all day. Stacking already getting his quarterbacks injured in back-to-back seasons. No, Senor. His final season as a coordinator in Philly, he got Hurts hurt. In the last month of the season, he goes and gets the job in Indianapolis, and in the first month of the season, he gets Richardson hurt. And now he's got him hurt again. He has hurt those RPO quarterbacks every single month of the season that they've been available. Then the guy hurts his shoulder. What does he do? He throws his ass back out there and they run the ball. I'm like, are you trying to get the guy killed? Are you trying to get the guy killed, Anthony Richardson? I'm like, hey, by the way, you talk about catching up on somebody already? Boy, Anthony Richardson looks like the 51% Gator. Not that that's a bad thing. It's always great ripping on Gators, especially Gardner Johnson, who's stupid and can't tackle, according to Vic Fangio. Hey, it's one thing to be called stupid, but another thing, you can't tackle too. Hey, he might want to read the playbook a little more, and he's not tackling very well. Okay, so you're dumb and you can't tackle. All right. I'm sure that's going to go well in team meetings. You might want to spend a little more time in your playbook. What's that mean? Because what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. And you're a shitty tackler. He's got to tackle better. What? And how we paid him $8 million. Silts. It's gotten so bad that part of me is rooting against. Don't do that. Don't do that. That makes for a horrible show. Trust me. I'm not looking for those guys to pull a tank job like last year. No way. That's bad content. No way. Okay? No way. We literally don't have a real challenge until the Cowboys and Commanders. And I'm not about to hype those pieces of shit. Dude, you lost to the shitty Bucks. No, I'll take it back. You were murdered by the Bucks. And the Bucks are better than the Cowboys. We really don't have any competition. Dude, every week's a competition. Look at your defense. M. Reyes thinks you have gangrene. Your schedule's compared to last year. Your defense ain't. It's worse. This guy thinks you have a fair defense. You don't. It's dog shit. M. Reyes. This guy's had 4 hours of dumbness. I'd probably be in a hospital if we were that bad again. Oh, my God. Worst defense in the NFL. One of. This is going south. I remember you saying this defense can't be worse. Looks worse to me. No, I think that was Xander that said it can't get any worse. Damn, was it Ben Johnson, Jalen's buddy? He was. Maybe he's pissed about that. Probably wants him back, especially since Johnson is doing well now. Well, wait a minute. He's doing well now because he's got a better quarterback. You think there's anything to that? And maybe he doesn't have Nick up his ass. You got an actual competent coordinator. And the guy knows what he's doing with quarterbacks. Dude, I'm not going to say it again to you. Cliff Kingsbury, this is his resume in the last 5 years, working with quarterbacks. You may not think he's a good head coach. That's fair. But here, Mahomes, he recruited and developed. Kyler Murray looks pretty good this year. He was the OC in Southern California for Caleb Williams, who became the number 1 pick in the draft. And now he's working with Daniels, Jaden Daniels. All first-round picks. You think there's anything to this? You think he knows what he's doing? There you go, Nick. Howie's hiding under his bed. That's where he is. Where's Roseman when we're losing? Oh, Sam. I don't see his ass on the sidelines. Hey, Sam. Hey, M. Ray, it's your boy. Yeah, where's Howie, man? He's a big sideline guy. Oh, man. Where's Howie? Oh, man. Media whore. Everyone, Howie on the sidelines. The Eagles losing the fourth quarter. Oh, man. Howie thinks he's a mob leader because got Big Dom with him. Dom, bring Luca Brazzi in. Hey, Xander. Here's the glorified CPA. Howard Roseman and Associates. Hey, do me a favor. Can you send Dom Brazzi in? Send Dom Brazzi in. Hey, the Tatalia family. I want you to make them feel, that you're a wanted man, Nick. Tell them you're not happy. You don't like being a coordinator here. Get inside there. I don't trust this guy. Make sure you go. Make sure they tell him you're not happy, Send Luca Brazzi in. Oh, man. Luca, hey, Dom Brazzi, send him in. Yeah. Sills, hypothetically, if we drop to 2-5 on the season, do you start selling for picks? Dude, don't say that. 2-5? Wow. They'll light the city on fire. They'll light the city on fire. That Eagle team, with all the money you spent, the $200 million, okay? $200 million you spent on offense, that thing goes 2-5? Whoa. Shit, firing? Everybody would be a potential casualty. Then you might clean house and bring Belichick in if that thing's 2-5. Man, I don't see that awful. Okay. Look at this, Xander. Hurts got to go. Oh, shit. Now, am I instigating this? Am I instigating this? I don't want to instigate this. I'm not trying to lead you. Says Miami spent a lot on offense too. Never nothing to show for it. After preseason, Xander said he sees no holes defense. I see a defense with more holes than a piece of cheddar cheese. Low IQ quarterback Hurts, Wonderlick of 18, can't read defense. Fuck. 18-1. Bro is going to blow Hurts out. I like that. Go trade for him. Holy shit. Hurts had 18 on his Wonderlick? No, he didn't. Fucking Big Sills had a 29. Come on, man. Dude, it's like taking your SAT test. You get 250 points for putting your fucking name on the thing. If Belichick comes in, first to go is Vic and his BS system. Oh, Belichick plays man. He don't play any of that zone. He don't believe in zone. Okay? He don't believe in zone. They refuse to play to Jalen's strengths after paying him. Carlos, that's the problem. Hey, Carlos, That's the total problem for me. It's right there what you're saying. That's totally the problem I have, Carlos. Dude, if you're gonna run him like you did in 22, you're gonna win important games and you're gonna look pretty good. And by the way, AJ got his numbers. So did Devontae. I think them paying those 2 wide receivers has hurt Jalen Hurts' development. Because it's pass happy. He's not a passer. But yet they're determined. They showed it in the Buck game. Get this. Does this not show you their mentality on how they're doing it? No matter who's playing wideout, they want to throw the ball. Well, Sills, wait a minute. They got down a lot early. You had 3.5 quarters. You didn't think you could roll back 3.5? I mean, I get it. You're down 21 in the fourth. You got to throw the ball. But you're down 20 in the first 8 minutes, and you're going to shit can the run game? You just went away from it with like 90% of the game left. Seals, Raiders being sellers. Would you give a second for Crosby? Shit, they ain't taking a 2 for him. No way. I love us Eagle fans. When we've seen enough, we're already ready to nuke our team, start over. Enough is enough. We went from a Super Bowl appearance, first round exits, to who knows what this season's going to look like. Okay. What could you possibly be laughing at? Your shit takes? M. Reyes is getting sent to playoff game for free if we win 14 ball games. I'm going to send that guy to season tickets with Lehigh football. Or better yet, I'll torture you more. You can go watch Temple. Hurts has become slow at everything. He looks slow at decision-making, slow running, slow progressions, slow at ripping passes, just slow. If the Eagles struggle in this soft stretch of schedule, Fredo's gone. Nobody has given us anything for Huff. We wouldn't trade him for a used jockstrap if we wanted to. We couldn't. I get it. Guy sucks. Guy sucks. Who's Bryce Huff? I don't know. No idea who the fuck that guy is. Dan Xander, how do the Eagles get rid of Hurts after this year? They can't. I just want one JAKIB shirt. Anything else goes to charity. Oh, look at this guy. Holy cow. Unbelievable. What a charitable dude. Respect? Absolutely not. M. Reyes has to know I love him. Shit, you've gotten a lot of airtime, kid. Even with your crappy ass takes. Okay? Hurts became obese like McNabb. Lost his speed. Too much chunky soup. Oh, man. Defensive line is a problem. They don't play with effort. They're fat and out of shape. That's why. How he failed past 3 drafts. Please stop fooling yourself. Me as a fan, I see when Wentz digress. Absolutely. And Jalen is doing the same thing in the front of our faces right now. Don't be fooled. Jalen is done. I don't know Jalen is done yet. I don't know. He has regressed. He has regressed, but I think it's the style of coaching again. He's regressed. Not all my chats are bullshit. Stop crying. No crying on the National Football Show. You hear me? Before you know it, you'll be put in a corner like LJ. Understand? M. Reyes, no crying. The only guy that gets put in a corner is LJ because he cries and he moans and he bitches. And he stands on a little anthill. Just remember that. So don't be that guy, M. Reyes. You're a wanted guy. LJ is like a bottle cap, like Flint on my nuts. Yeah, LJ, too easy. That only took you 4 hours. Only took you 4 hours and 895,000 posts. You got it done. Way to go. Twiz. Holy shit, the first time I said that guy's name. Let's see here. They've got to get, look, they don't have the right system. They don't. They don't have the right system. Says, how much money do you think Howie's blown on Huff? Well, $51 million. White was 6. Slay's 11. Bradbury's 9. How you doing? Dan, who should Jalen Hurts work with in the offseason to improve his pocket presence? Go back to Tom House. Go back to him. Brady's guy. Go with Brady's guy. Or go talk to Peyton Manning. Or go talk to even Tom Brady. I think those guys would work with him. Because the coaching he's getting right now is not very good, to say the least. John Gruden, that's a great call. Hey, Carlos, that's a great take. Go work with Gruden. He could help you in your pocket presence. Absolutely. By the way, it costs you not a lot of money right now because he's been blackballed. Great idea. Great idea. Great idea. Says, I see Jaden Daniels letting the ball fly before the receivers come into the picture at least 6 times. But our quarterback hasn't done anything like that. Yeah, because you know why? Jaden Daniels trusts his arm and throws the spots. Jalen Hurts doesn't trust it. That's why he holds on to the ball more than any quarterback in the league. That's why. Absolutely. We can't package Huff for anything. Huff is literally stuck on this team. He is. You're right. M. Reyes. You're never going to get the value for him. And the money. Here, I'll tell you what, M. Reyes. You might be able to trade him. But the Eagles would have to eat some of the contract. Look at that. 3.5 hours. You got one. Mr. International, you knew Miss Sills Monday show. Thank you, Xander. Gruden's breakdown on YouTube was phenomenal. He's a great coach to be around. I was in the room when Al Davis hired him. Rephrase the question. Which of the Eagles pay for Crosby? Or is it even worth it this season? Dude, he's going to cost you a 1. Now, wait a minute. No, maybe not. Because Brian Burns didn't. But I think Crosby's better. Max Crosby, you're talking. It's probably a 1. And remember, you got to pay him $25 million. Okay? Yeah. That's what yes. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. I'll probably end up trading. I would I would trade Twiz for like an old pair of drawers. An old pair of drawers, because you got to light them on fire, an old pair of drawers. You can't really throw drawers away. You got to light them on fire because you don't want anybody to put the voodoo on you. So what you do is you always burn your drawers. You don't throw your drawers away. You got to burn your drawers because somebody could make the voodoo doll out of, things. And, I mean, you can't have it. See, you burn your underwear. I burn my underwear. Oh, man. You got to burn your drawers. Here we go. All right. Shit, I was going to take yeah. Let me take a break here. Let me take a break here. By the way, do me a favor here. Our good friends at BetUS, make no mistake about it. Our fabulous relationship with our friends at BetUS during this football season, we invite you to make sure you jump aboard with our great friends. This football season, if you're looking for a new betting house, our YouTube 150 up to 200. Actually, get this. It's up to 150% on your bonuses up to 2K. 200% on the crypto when it comes to your payouts here. Also, don't forget, your second is 125%. Your third is also 125% when it comes to your sign-up bonuses. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. The fastest payouts in the business, 24/7 personalized service, 365 days of the year. Live wagering on all major games. Set up for you to have yourself a fabulous time. Don't forget the YouTube 150. You get 150% up to your 2K when it comes to your sign-up bonus. Great time for all during this football season, college and pro. betus.com.pa, betus.com.pa, and do me a favor, tell them Big Sil sent you.
He's blocked well and tries to cut through the middle. Oh!
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
Score and save in southeastern PA and Delaware with Colony Pools this football season, and let the experts close your pool with a custom Merlin safety cover in green for the birds. And if you join our Winter Watch team, we'll give you another 20% off, and Colony Pools will handle it all. Keep your tiles on your pool, not in your pool. Fly with Colony right now, Birds fans. Visit flywithcolony.com.
I get scared sometimes.
Of a lot of things.
Joining in.
Decisions.
The dark.
The dark.
But I once heard someone say,
But as I always say,
it's okay to be afraid.
as long as you face the fear.
And keep moving forward.
Wherever you are in life, count on the name trusted in insurance for over 80 years. Independence Blue Cross.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services. The first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Heading down the shore. Have a ball once more.
Here, imaginations run wild and time stands still. Because here, you can find the best of the Jersey Shore, all on one 5-mile island. So leave the old you behind and get lost in the woods.
Wild, wild, wildwood.
Plan your stay in the Wildwoods today.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Sales National Football Show. How many people think that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield? Yes or no? Sue, no. Xander, no. Not even close. Baker's much better. I don't. Just got further. No. I'm just messing with you, my man. My name is Gooby. Gooby, I like you, man. All good. Baker can pass well. Damn. Sales Hurts is Josh Rosen. No, he's not. No way, Raj says. Wow, M. Reyes. Let me take something M. Reyes did. Here's Jalen Hurts in the last 9 games. 8 touchdown passes, 9 picks. 1793 in passing yards. 65-2 completion percentage. Total of 13 touchdowns and 13 turnovers. Here's Daniel Jones in the last 9 games. Daniel Jones, who's probably not going to be the starting quarterback in New York after this year. He's got 6 TD passes and 7 INTs. 1686 in passing yards. 66-8 in completion percentage. He's got 7 touchdowns and 8 turnovers. You're comparing him to Daniel Jones now? This thing is falling fast. By the way, here, let's be fair. And all kidding aside, let's be fair here. Let's see how this looks. Listen to me talking. Let's see how this looks when Devontae and AJ come back. I got to think it's going to improve. I've got to think it's going to improve. Okay? I'm assuming. No, there's no doubt it improves. Because the quarterbacks he's now, Justin Fields has a higher quarterback rating than him since last year. This can't be real. I mean, I think the coaches are doing him a disservice. Most quarterback failures are combo organization and quarterback. Darnold, Mayfield being on the Panthers at the same time says it all. Good night. Great take, Gooby. I forgot that. They were both on the Carolina Panthers last year. Was it last year or the year before? Last year, right? Gooby, right? Wow. I forgot that. And by the way, they're now combined 7-1. Seals, imagine if Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter How do you know this, Raymond? Raymond, how do you know this? I see a Bolts. Raymond? I see a Bolts thing there. Camp Perkins. Wow. They would quit. They would quit. 3 days, 3 hours, practices, hitting. They quit. That was last year, Gooby? Wow. So this has to be rock bottom for Hurts. This is the worst he's played. Only way it gets worse is if we see no improvement with Smith and Brown back. That's right, Duke. That's why I'm saying it's got to improve. Even Jalen Hurts' biggest supporters have to be pausing now. Since the entire NFL knows where the ball is going. Okay? They get a lot of double. They still get their numbers, though. Let's speak failure. Howie and Lori. You're not allowed to talk about those guys. They won't. Hey, Clairvoy, you could never go on WIP with that take. They would never allow it. Only here can you do this. The call screeners would never put you up, and the host would never go to it. See, what you have is you have a call screener. He sits on the other side of the glass. Joe Kraus and Xander, these guys know this. You have a call screener. What he'll do is he'll pick the phone up, and Clairvoy will go, hey, failures with Howie and Lori here. Okay? And he'll put his take there, put it down. He'll determine whether or not he wants to put that on because he's been already told by the program director and the assistant program director not too much negative shit towards Howie and the owner. Head coach, you can kind of go a little bit with him. So he'll type it in. The host will look at it, and they'll determine whether or not to go to it or not and put you up on the air. Because remember, there's a narrative on the flagship station. They can't be honest. Shit, they couldn't be honest about Howard Eskin. How are they going to be honest about the owner of the Eagles? Remember that. You couldn't even be honest about a guy who was sexually harassing someone, allegedly, and you couldn't even talk about it. How are you going to talk about the owner and the GM? And then I get calls and everybody gets calls, and that's why places like this give you an opportunity. Okay? That's right. Correct. Absolutely. Thank you, brother, because it is true. Fanatic stopped letting me on. How I found this place a few years back. Thank you, brother. Look what Brian Johnson is doing in Washington without Hurts and a real quarterback and a real coach. Ravens got a coordinator to fit Lamar Jackson, Todd Monken. Skill set. We should have done the same with Hurts. He's not a drop back passer in 20. Absolutely true. You should have hired Kingsbury. Kingsbury is the RPO guy. Sales, what's Clint's take on this? Denny, I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to pass on that. I'm sorry, Denny. Be the only time I don't answer. I'm going to pass on that. Okay? Hurts is the wink link. After he got his money, he went downhill. It's funny, isn't it? Hey, RT Bub, last week I had a topic. Has Jalen Hurts regressed since he signed his $250 million contract? You know what people in here told me? I was full of shit, and I was Hurts hating. Now you're bringing it up. Xander, is this the shit you talk about when I bring a topic up? Now everyone else brings the topic up. I'm not saying I'm not criticizing you, bub. But I brought this up last week. I actually even brought up that Mayfield was outplaying him. No one believed it. By the way, I'm not pissed off that Jalen lost. I'm pissed off how he played. Dude, you could play and lose with a great effort and being smart and seeing that the quarterback. Hey, Joe Burrow got beat. When Joe Burrow got beat by Patrick Mahomes a couple weeks ago, I was like, Burrow played great. I'm encouraged by Burrow. You lose to Mahomes, but when you lose like that, pocket presence was shit, overthrowing Barkley, not seeing anybody open, struggling. I mean, it's just, you knew full and well you had to get to Goddard and Barkley. Who the fuck cares about throwing to Dotson? Just because Howie got him doesn't mean you have to throw to him. That's not a priority. I hear the reporters ask the question today. Xander, I know you probably heard it too. How do you get Dotson more involved? Read the playbook. Get yourself open. My priority is not getting the ball to Dotson. My priority is getting to the open guy. Okay? Another wasted draft pick. We sent a third rounder for a scrub-ass receiver. And Jalen can't find. Is it on Dotson or is it on Hurts? Are the QBs find wide receivers? I mean, Dotson's been a bum in two places. Is the quarterback not finding him? You know that. He's not a progression reader. Somebody asked the question, too. Ask Kellen Moore this. Hey, does Jalen have to get through his progressions better? You know what Kellen Moore said? Well, that's coaching. I couldn't believe all the excuses the coordinators made for poor play today. It was really embarrassing. The coordinators were embarrassing today. They were embarrassing. Vic included. That was the worst press conference to date for Vic Fangio. They were enablers. They didn't hold anybody accountable. The head coach this morning on IP was backing a loser leader on the team. The whole thing today was an awful day for the Eagles. If they were in politics, running for president, they had lost percentage points today. Okay? It's terrible. The whole group of them. The entire coaching staff was a train wreck today. Vic, Kellen, no accountability, no answers. Coaching can't fix effort. Get this. Xander goes like this, Sills. How can you draft people that have a love of the game? I don't want to coach a guy where I have to motivate you. If anything, I want to be able to pull a guy off a ledge, not push him to it. Those are the guys I want on my team. Hey, and for the record, I'll take a couple assholes and put them on my team. You're not going to win championships with choir boys. Just not. Fundamentals aren't going to fix attitude. Dude, playing defense, running to the ball, and knocking people out is an attitude. It's not a position. They don't have any dogs on that team, especially on the defensive side. You know what you have? Puppies. The two tackles are not very tough. The edge rushers are soft. Not Graham. Dean soft. Quignon's not, I don't believe soft. I don't believe Gardner Johnson's soft. The Georgia puppies. Got him in a little litter. Oh, look at the little puppy dogs there. Not bulldogs, that's for damn sure. They're little Georgia puppy dogs. The Georgia puppies. Come here, little guy. I got a bone for you. I got one of them fake bones for you. Come here, come here. I'm gonna name my new dogs. If I get dogs, Jalen and Jordan. Come here, little puppies. Now, wait a minute. I want someone tougher, so I'm not naming them that. Okay? I'm going to name those guys Willie. Like in Patton. Your name's not William. Your name is Willie. But the greatest lines, he hides from that little dog, that big bulldog. He runs behind Patton. Your name's not William. I named them after William the Conqueror. This guy runs and hides. Little tiny puppy sitting in a lady's lap. Your name's not William. It's Willie. You're not a bulldog. You're a puppy. The Georgia puppies. Georgia puppies. How he really got suckered in that Georgia bubba dog. Hey, the Georgia puppies is kind of appropriate, especially after they got beat by Alabama this past weekend. Okay. Scared to hit. And hey, and he got Kobe Dean. Man, does he suck. Wow. I told you from day one. No, he's the best linebacker in the core. And I was late today. You talk about Slay and Michael Parsons podcast. Yeah. Hey, Jeff, it was more like, like an Oprah deal. Like Oprah talking to Megan. Hey, what's your shoe size? Hey, how you doing? You all right? You know, your teammate's a little bit of a jerk. Yeah, he is. This is really wormy. Hey, Jeff, it was really wormy. It was like really wormy. You know, wait. Hey, so what's your foot size? Hey, Jeff, it was like, I thought the pillow guy was going to come in. You know, the guy who does the pillow commercials? Hey, right now, you can buy a brand new pillow. You know, My Pillow. I thought these guys were going to start selling My Pillows. Hey, do you want a pillow? You know, we got the automatic bed sheets here made from this Corinthian leather. Couldn't be any warmier. Yeah, those guys, man, no, their priority was getting on a podcast together, kissing ass one another. Eagles and Cowboys during the season. Okay? My pillow's good for 3 weeks. That's funny. This isn't right. What is that? What kind of, come on, Mr. International. I can't believe I accidentally hit that. Excuse me, everyone. I didn't mean to do that. My mistake. Holy cow. Funny. I can't take it down. Look, listen. I'm trying to click. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. How can I can't take that down. What happened? Shit. What's going on? Wait, I'm going to try to click out of it. Damn, I can't. Shit. I accidentally clicked this on. This is terrible. I can't get rid of that. I don't know. Yeah, don't take it down, Xander. Oh, man. M. Reyes made a comeback today. Nothing wrong with being happy. Nice point. You have made a strong rebound. M. Reyes, you've made a strong rebound, my friend. Absolutely. Good for you. Show me you got a pair of Kuyans. There you go. I really hate this new NFL. What? Kiss and tell? Hey, what's your pod? Like Xander said, you got to accept the podcasting of this whole thing. And you have to understand that today, these guys don't really give a shit about the fans or the cities they play in. They care more about their brands. So guys like Old Man Sills, you have to understand that a captain of our team has a priority. You know what that is? It's podcasting. It's playing football and podcasting, not where you play anymore. All right. I guess. I'll remember that when I buy season tickets. You're pimping me on the love of the fan base. When you're raising season tickets so you can pay for those salaries. I'll remember that. Okay. Dan, this is about podcasting today, social media. I know you've been fired 7 billion times, but you don't understand it. You're right, I don't. I thought you played football to win games, not be in a love affair with the guy who's your mortal enemy. No fraternizing. Hey, Pat Riley had a rule, no fraternizing. I miss those coaches. No fraternizing. I would still have that rule. We're not doing that. I don't want to see anybody over there praying with anybody either. John Gruden used to say that shit. I'll tell you a John Gruden story here. So I covered the Bucs and I did the pre and post game show for the Bucs, as many of you know. And John Gruden, this is terrible now in light of everything that was said and done. We're on the field. I'm standing next to Bruce Allen. All of a sudden, players across the way come over, and these guys do a pregame prayer. John Gruden is screaming. I think it was Tim Rattay or somebody like that. John Gruden goes like this. Get the fuck off my field. There ain't no praying. Get the fuck off my field. He's running from one end. I'm going like, God. Bruce Allen goes, he totally hates that. And I'm going like this. Come on. Get the fuck off my field. There's no praying in football. Get out of here. What is that? And I'm going. He comes walking over to me. He goes, would you pray? I go, no, I wouldn't. But you're getting on their ass because they're praying before a game. He goes, there's no praying in football. I'm like, sitting there kissing ass, shaking hands with any of those guys. That ain't working for me. I'm like, I get it. I get it. You think Gruden should come back to Philly? Or he's this type of guy to give him a second chance? He has a ring and we could use him. A lot of bullshit with that right now. But John Gruden's a great coach. And he's great. He's great at picking a coaching staff. Remember when he was in Tampa, he had Monty Kiffin down there. Well, who was on that staff after Dungy left? They had all them guys. Raheem, Tomlin, all them dudes were down there. Lovey. John hired them all them guys, along with Coach Dungy. He, hired a great coordinator, Lovey and Monty Kiffin, Lane's dad. He can build a coaching staff. I think he's more in the consultant role now. Sorry to say. Okay? Sills, would you play Devin White? I would ask you this, Cosmo. Why doesn't anybody in the Philly media ask Nick why he's on the team? Why is he on the team? If you're not going to use him, why is he on the team? Why is he on the team? Doesn't matter who we have. I remember when Reed was here, we had the same issues. That's why I stopped watching football for 10 years. I came back, and what do you know? Same shit with the owner. Wow. Rip Van Blue Pill. Same shit. 10 years later. Nothing's different. Damn, dude. This guy stopped watching ball, came back. Still, same shit. Nothing different. Okay? Nothing different. Because the truth is how we drafted Dean. We find out how he's the puppet master. What a rough week this is going to be for Nick and for that team. I can't wait to hear some of the players and how they got to address this shit. Okay? I do. Hurts is 3-8 in the last 11 games, leads the league in turnovers. This has got to get better. It's got to get better. Look at, hey, Xander. I think Philly fans just about, we're in those stages of grief right now with Hurts. You're in those stages. Sills, is the season doomed? If you were in the AFC, I would say yes. Because you're in the NFC, no. Who's the dominant team? In your opinion, who's a dominant team in the NFC right now? You really believe Minnesota? Niners are banged up. You're banged up. Detroit? Okay, maybe Detroit. Right? You're still in the room, though. All right. Tomorrow, Doc Walker, part of the broadcast team of the Washington Commanders, 3 championship rings with the Washington Redskins, and also the interesting Philly 500. Mark Holmes will be with us. Can't wait to hear that segment. Should be interesting. Oh, and Merrill Reese will be with us too. Okay, hey, Xander's like, Mark Holmes is going to kill us tomorrow. Remember what I told you too? I told Holmes that, hey, we might have the same record as the Eagles come next week. Sure enough, that's what's ended up happening. All right, guys. Fantastic. We so appreciate you guys very much. Thank you again. Awesome stuff. Big Joe, Xander, we thank you. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Awesome job again. 2 to 6 tomorrow, and we'll see you on the flip side.